One Piece. Daily Check-In. From a scumbag to the god of pirates. Chapter 1. Heave-ho, heave-ho. A large white bear was diligently swinging his fists. That's right. Exactly. Keep it up, Locke. Only by working hard to become stronger can you protect me. A small boy, his front and back covered by leaves, sat on the beach not far from the white bear, shouting. Roar, 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 roar. Hearing the boy's encouragement, the white bear swung his fists even harder. All right, I know you can protect me, that's enough. The boy, named Ying Luo, was originally an ordinary undergraduate student from Blue Star. He had died suddenly due to staying up late playing Honor of Kings and then transmigrated to this world. Although he was reborn, the boy only had the body of a 5-year-old. Besides picking wild fruits and eating small insects to fill his stomach on this deserted island, Ying Luo was completely helpless against larger proteins. Not only that, he also had to constantly watch out for wild beasts around him on this deserted island, as he could easily become their next meal. Fortunately, with the blessings of the Jade Emperor, Queen Mother of the West, Daode Tianzun, Yuanshi Tianzun, and Lingbao Tianzun, this situation only lasted for about a month on the island before Ying Luo's great savior appeared. On the 30th day of his transmigration, Ying Luo had already scoured the surrounding area, and no wild fruits could be found. Perhaps there were some deep in the jungle, but going there would likely mean becoming food himself. Just as Ying Luo was so hungry he considered gnawing on tree bark, the essential item for transmigrators appeared. The daily check-in system bound itself to Ying Luo. He could check in daily to obtain any item, receive a small gift package weekly, a medium gift package monthly, and a large gift package annually, distributed on the first day of the following week. The large, medium, and small gift packages had a higher probability of yielding good items. After years of calculation, Ying Luo found that the large gift package had about a 60% chance of good items, the medium package about 30%, and the small package only a pitiful 10%, while daily check-ins had a 99% chance of yielding everyday items. These were just some of Ying Luo's discoveries on the deserted island. Once he went to sea, he would realize that 5 years on the deserted island was less fruitful than 1 year at sea. Although Ying Luo was a helpless infant at the time, the system fortunately granted him a novice gift package. Listening to the voice of all things, active skill. Armament hockey, beginner. Zhu Xie Dragon Sparrow, a sword, blade about 4 feet 3 inches long, hilt 1 foot. The blade and hilt are mostly silver white. Picture at the back. 10,000 berries. It was also at this time that Ying Luo realized he had transmigrated to the world of One Piece, though he didn't know what sea circle calendar year it currently was. Ying Luo truly loved that sword. Although he couldn't tell if Zhu Xie Dragon Sparrow belonged to the supreme grade or great grade swords, the sword's appearance was genuinely cool. Other items included food, drinks, and other daily necessities. The food included hamburgers, fries, bread, etc. The drinks were happy fat water, mineral water, BD calcium milk, etc. Food rich in protein was rarely obtained. White Bear Locke was encountered by Ying Luo when he was hunting in the jungle after gaining some self-preservation ability. At that time, he encountered a mother bear giving birth, surrounded by a group of proctologists eyeing her covetously. The mother white bear, exhausted after hunting down all the surrounding beasts, finally gave birth to a small white bear before lying down and passing away. Ying Luo couldn't bear to see this little one die right after being born, so he adopted the little guy and named him Locke. When writing, the name, Locke Kingdom, suddenly came to mind, so I named him Locke. To ensure the little guy's survival, Ying Luo immediately gave up his BD calcium milk and used it all to feed the little guy. Don't ask me if the milk content is high. If you ask, I don't know. 5 years flashed by. The little guy, who was once only the size of Ying Luo's 2 palms, had now grown almost as large as his mother once was. Ever since Ying Luo learned he was in the world of One Piece, he didn't dare to be complacent for a single day, training Locke rigorously. This was because Ying Luo deeply understood that without great strength here, one would either be hunted by powerful pirates or become cattle or slaves for the amusement of nobles. Ying Luo found it easy to communicate with Locke due to his listening to the voice of all things ability. His is an active skill, which he can use directly to communicate with animals, unlike Roger and others whose abilities need to be triggered. His thoughts returned to the present. Ying Luo changed his position and lay on the beach, looking at the big sun above his head. Estimating it was already noon, he called for Locke to stop. Locke, it's time to eat, come back. Roar roar, roar roar. The disciplined large white bear threw his last punch, then made a finishing move, and humanely walked over to Ying Luo and sat down. Ying Luo took out a pile of food from his system warehouse, including fast food like hamburgers and a large amount of meat. All the meat came from the island's companions. Eat. At Ying Luo's command, the boy and the bear quickly divided and devoured the food before them. Half an hour later, the boy and the bear lay comfortably on the beach, enjoying their pleasant midday nap. Unconsciously, both Ying Luo and Locke fell asleep until 3 in the afternoon when Locke woke up the still sleeping Ying Luo. Roar roar, roar roar roar. Ying Luo was completely shaken awake by Locke. All right, I get it. Seeing Ying Luo get up, Locke lay down again. TCH. So annoying. Although Ying Luo said this, he still moved a bit further away from him. Deep in the jungle, Ying Luo took out a training manual from his system warehouse. Turtle Hermit School Training Manual. Ying Luo had obtained this 3 years ago from a daily check-in due to an explosion of luck. Ying Luo had also watched Dragon Ball and naturally knew what the Turtle Hermit School meant, so this book became the main direction for Ying Luo and Locke's current training. Ying Luo's current actions also followed its teachings. Exercise well, study well, play well, eat well, rest well. Except for study well, which they couldn't do yet, they followed all the others, especially rest well. After 3 years of training, both Ying Luo and Locke had made significant progress. Ying Luo silently recited in his mind. System, check my attributes. Host, Ying Luo, soul-bound user. Age, 10 years old. Dao power, 8000. Haoshoku, none. Armament hockey, intermediate mid-stage. Observation hockey, beginner mid-stage. Overall strength, Marineford Rear Admiral mid-stage. Skills, listening to the voice of all things active skill. Warehouse, Zhu Xie Dragon Sparrow, Senzu Bean, weakened version X10 Dragon Ball World item, weakened version can heal injuries, can perfectly heal moderate injuries, no satiety function ironclad warship, Warwolf X1 handcrafted by Grey Wolf Turtle Hermit School Training Manual, 1 million berries, various hamburgers, various colas, various farmer haha mineral water. Over the years, the most practical items Ying Luo obtained from check-ins were 3 things, a sword, a card, and some beans. Dissecting prey, enhancing strength, and holy healing items. Initially, there were 20 Senzu beans. Over 5 years, the help of the other 10 beans was indispensable for their current growth. Ying Luo had obtained an Armament Hockey Intermediate Advancement card, which could upgrade beginner Armament Hockey to Intermediate Armament Hockey. With the strength of a Rear Admiral, I now have some self-preservation ability here. I've been on the island for 5 years, it's time to see what's beyond the island. The next day, at 8 in the morning. Ding! The system has successfully completed your daily check-in. Obtained 1 AK-47, with an additional magazine given, 7.62mm caliber, fires type 71943 intermediate power cartridges, 30 round capacity. Ying Luo caressed the weapon in his hand, it was heavy. This was his first time handling a modern weapon from the Blue Star. Ying Luo now had an urge to fire a whole clip at himself. What's 30 rounds good for? Forget it, it's better than nothing. He put the AK-47 into the system warehouse. He woke up Kuma, who was still sound asleep. Kuma, wake up, it's time for us to set sail. As soon as Kuma heard, set sail, he immediately sat up from the stone. Roar, roar, haha, right, I'm excited too. I've been stuck on this broken island for so many years, I couldn't stand it anymore. Ying Luo pulled out a small sailboat from the warehouse. This was something he and Kuma had hastily built yesterday. Ying Luo didn't plan to use the massive ironclad battleship at this stage, unless he possessed general level strength, or even strength beyond general level. Otherwise, owning such an ironclad battleship would be like an innocent man possessing a treasure, inviting trouble. Ying Luo placed the sailboat on the sea. The boy and the bear stood on the boat, Ying Luo looking at the desolate island where he had lived for 5 years, a smile playing on his lips. Setting sail. Roar, roar, roar. A clear sound echoed throughout the entire desolate island, startling birds and beasts. Set sail. Depart. With wind and waves today, the sailboat easily left the vicinity of the desolate island. Kuma, from now on, our goal is to conquer the sea. Roar. The excitement of setting sail was high. but due to the lack of a log pose and a navigator, the boy and the bear could only drift on the ocean. During this time, he also checked in and received a small gift package, but he didn't get anything good from it. When Ying Luo was on the Blue Star, he couldn't even distinguish the most basic directions, and Kuma was a bear who had lived on a desolate island without a mother's guidance, so he couldn't be relied upon either. Fortunately, Ying Luo had enough food, otherwise, the two would have had to fish and eat raw. Finally, after half a month of drifting at sea, the boy and the bear spotted a passing merchant ship. Ying Luo didn't sense any danger, and regardless of whether they agreed or not, he and Kuma leapt onto the ship. The guards on the ship immediately became alert. "Who are you? Why are you on our ship?" Ying Luo bowed to the people on the ship and said, "I apologize for boarding your ship without your permission. We have been drifting at sea for half a month and truly cannot distinguish the direction on the sea or find land, which is why we boarded your ship." Among the crowd, a fat uncle, who appeared to be richly dressed, pushed aside the two guards. "Children, forget it, let them follow. Keep an eye on them, don't let them run around. Keep moving forward." "Understood, Captain. Keep moving forward." Perhaps the captain saw Ying Luo as a child, and with a white bear that didn't seem to have much combat power, he decided to let the boy and the bear stay. At dinner time, someone brought some meat to Ying Luo and Kuma. "Thank you." Ying Luo politely thanked him. Roar, roar. The person delivering the food took 2 steps back. He said thank you. The person delivering the food glanced at Ying Luo, saying nothing, but from his expression, it was clear he didn't believe him. After dinner, Ying Luo and Kuma were about to go for a walk on the deck when suddenly, he felt something approaching in the darkness. The 2 guards watching them reprimanded, "You two, don't run around, go back to your room." "Can the ship accelerate?" Ying Luo didn't answer his question, instead, he asked a question. "What are you talking about? Hurry back. If you don't want your goods to be robbed, you'd best accelerate and leave here quickly." After speaking, Ying Luo obeyed them and took Kuma back to the quarters they had prepared for him. Sure enough, not long after Ying Luo left, a ship appeared behind them, with 2 skulls impaled by a sword on their masts. "It's a pirate ship. Pirates are here. Pirates are here." The ship's lookout let out a roar in the darkness. But it was too late. The pirates' ladder was already hooked onto the stern of the ship. Pirates were already climbing up the ladder. Among them, a big bearded black man directly jumped from the pirate ship onto the merchant ship, holding a long saber and shouting, "Lads! Kill and plunder! Roar, roar, yo-ho, long live the boss!" Suddenly, the merchant ship was in chaos. The guards could only barely resist the attack of the group of pirates. "Joe, go kill that pirate captain," the captain said to the guard beside him. "But, Captain, your safety. If that person is killed, I will naturally be safe. Go quickly." "Yes, Captain." Joe, holding his long spear, confronted the pirate captain. "Where did this fellow come from, not knowing the immensity of heaven and earth, daring to oppose my killing god pirates? I am a Paramesha type spring fruit user, and today is your day of death." After speaking, the pirate captain's legs transformed into springs, and he bounced around the ship, moving quickly and jumping very high. Joe, holding his long spear, dared not be careless, his eyes fixed on him. The next moment, the pirate captain pushed off the ground with his feet, and his entire body instantly charged towards Joe. The pirate's own weight, combined with this terrifying acceleration, would likely create enormous momentum. Indeed, the moment the pirate moved, Joe immediately pointed the tip of his long spear at him. Seeing this, the pirate captain's hands immediately transformed into dense springs, directly knocking Joe, spear and all, away. PFF'd. Joe flew backward, spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood. The wealthy merchant captain immediately stepped forward upon seeing this. Sir, we'll give you the goods. All of them. Can you spare our lives?" "Heh, lads, he actually said he wants us to let them live. Ha 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 ha. Die for me." The pirate leader's expression immediately turned from a smile to sinister, then he pushed off the ground with his feet, charging towards the wealthy merchant captain again at an extremely fast speed. Just at that critical moment, Ying Luo intervened and blocked the attack. "Captain, you allowed me on your ship, I save your life, our grievances are settled." Then Ying Luo delivered just one punch, knocking the spring captain to the ground, unable to get up. He then directly threw him into the sea. Although it was Ying Luo's first time killing someone, he felt no discomfort whatsoever. Instead, he killed with a clear conscience. In the pirate world, human lives are the cheapest commodity. No one with power cares about the lives of ordinary people. Marines and pirates are the same, except for a small minority of Marines. Without their captain, the killing god pirates' morale plummeted, and Joer and the other guards worked together to kill all of them and throw them into the sea. Afterward, to thank Ying Luo, the wealthy merchant captain offered 10,000 berries as a token of gratitude. Ying Luo refused. This matter had a cause and effect, and now that the cause and effect were settled, they owed each other nothing. The next day, Ying Luo took Kuma and boarded the killing god pirates' pirate ship. Ding! The system has automatically checked in for the host. Congratulations on obtaining the devil fruit. Zone type, fish fruit, ancient zone, emperor crocodile form. Ying Luo was a little surprised. He silently asked in his mind, "System, what day is it today?" "Today is the 3rd week since the host went to sea." "Oh, so yesterday was the last day of the 2nd week. But my luck is pretty good, I actually hit the 10% chance." Ding! The system has automatically checked in for the host. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10 berries. You might as well not give it. 10 berries, who are you humiliating? The system did not respond to Ying Luo. Instead, it directly put the 10 berries into the warehouse. Ying Luo took out the devil fruit from the warehouse and observed it carefully in his hand. It truly lives up to its name as a secret treasure of the sea, this appearance, this shape. It's just too ugly. Ying Luo speechlessly complained about the devil fruit in his hand, it was truly too ugly. Unlike Mythical Zone, each one was so beautiful, charming, and immediately conveyed a sense of power. The devil fruit in his hand was entirely green, covered in bumps, with a large crocodile embracing the entire fruit. There's a picture below, provided by a great user in the comment section. Forget it, I'd better put it away, in case it gets eaten as a regular fruit, that would be bad. I don't want to needlessly gain another weakness. Unless I can obtain something that can remove negative effects from items. Other than Doraemon's tools, the only way to achieve something like this would be to check in Grey Wolf. Ying Luo temporarily put this matter aside, he had more important things to do now. Although the ship he stole had a log pose, he didn't seem to understand it. Locke, do you understand it? Roar roar. Sigh, I'm just desperately grasping at straws. Even I, who has watched Pirate King, don't understand it, so how could you, who has no experience, possibly understand it? Roar roar. Roar roar. Locke expressed strong protest. Alright, protest denied. Ying Luo stood on a high point, stroking Locke's ear. Forget it, let it drift wherever it may. I refuse to believe we won't drift to a populated land. However, why do I always feel like I've forgotten something? He couldn't remember for a while, so he simply stopped thinking about it. Ying Luo and Locke's days drifting at sea were quite fulfilling. The man and the bear, as always, never slacked off for a moment, both diligently improving their strength. After finishing his training today, Ying Luo silently thought in his mind. System, check Locke's attributes. Instantly, a panel appeared in front of Ying Luo. Name, Locke, Beast age, 5 years old. Dao power, 2,200 inches. Haoshoku, none. Armament hockey, elementary. Observation hockey, showing signs. Overall strength, Marine Headquarters Colonel early stage. Locke's not bad at all, he's already reached the strength of a Marine Headquarters Colonel. It seems the Turtle Hermit School is indeed powerful. Although he couldn't compare to Krillin and Goku's training speed, in the Pirate King world, at this age, achieving such a feat, besides the 4 emperors and those pirate legends, probably only the protagonist could. Wait, protagonist, that's right, the date, I forgot to ask what time it is now. Ying Luo wanted to slap himself twice, missing this opportunity, he didn't know how long he would have to wait in the future to encounter people. But since it had come to this, Ying Luo could only swallow this bitter fruit himself. Time quietly flowed by, and soon, the man and the bear had drifted on the island for another week. Ding! The system has automatically checked in for the host. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a set of ordinary kitchenware, including knives, spatulas, spoons, and pots. Automatically stored in the host's warehouse. Please check it yourself. What is this? For the weekly check-in small gift package, you give me this. A set of kitchenware. What for? To make me cook. Ding. The system has automatically checked in for the host. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Golden Lotus X1. Automatically stored in the host's warehouse. Please check it yourself. Quote question mark question mark question mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Golden Lotus. Are you kidding me? How old am I now? What do I need this for? The system fell silent, ignoring Ying Luo's questions. Quote. Quote. Seeing that the system ignored him, Ying Luo no longer tried to communicate with it. Time flew by, and Ying Luo and Locke had been drifting at sea for another week. A month had passed since they set sail. Ding! The system has automatically checked in for the host. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 Haoshoku seed. Congratulations for obtaining Observation Hockey Intermediate Advancement Card X1. Congratulations for obtaining a box of missing teeth. Automatically stored in the host's warehouse. Please check it yourself. Today was the first day of the second month. At 8 o'clock, Ying Luo was still asleep when he was suddenly woken up by the system's check-in sound. Haoshoku seed. System, check the Haoshoku seed. Haoshoku seed. After use, it can provide the host with potential Haoshoku. Note, Haoshoku seed, like Haoshoku itself, needs to be awakened. Awakening, Ha. System, use the Haoshoku seed in the Observation Hockey Advancement card. Usage successful. Host, Ying Luo, Soul Binder. Age, 10 years old. Dao power, 17,000 inches. Haoshoku, seed. Armament hockey, intermediate mid-stage. Observation hockey, intermediate early stage. Overall strength, Marine Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral mid-stage. Skills, listening to the voice of all things active skill. Warehouse, Zhu Xie Longke, Senzu Bean Weakened Version X10 Dragon Ball World Item. Weakened version can heal injuries, can perfectly heal moderate injuries. No satiety function. Ironclad Warship, War Wolf X1 handcrafted by Grey Wolf. Fish Fruit, Ancient Zone, Emperor Crocodile Form, a set of kitchenware. Golden Lotus X1, a box of missing teeth. Turtle Hermit School Training Manual, AK-47, 1 million berries, several hamburgers, several cokes, several Nongfu Haha mineral waters. I've already reached the strength of a Marine Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral. Ying Luo looked at his attribute panel, feeling a little excited. Although when he watched Pirate King, Vice Admirals didn't seem that strong except for Garp, especially during the Summit War, they were fighting against the Whitebeard pirates at that time. With the strength of a Marine Headquarters Vice Admiral, although Ying Luo wouldn't exactly walk sideways across the seas, he could certainly dominate a region. U-Dog System. I stayed on a deserted island for 4 or 5 years to reach the strength of a Marine Headquarters Rear Admiral, and I didn't expect to break through to the strength of a Vice Admiral in less than 2 months after going to sea. If I had known you'd only give good things after going to sea, I would have gone to sea a long time ago. MD. Ying Luo loudly reprimanded the system in his mind. System. At noon, Ying Luo and Locke had a direct battle, though it was mostly for guidance. Needless to say, Locke lost thoroughly. It's a pity there's no weighted training equipment on the ship, otherwise I could continue following the training manual. Roar roar. In the evening, after Ying Luo and Locke had dinner, they fell into a deep sleep. Until the middle of the night, a sudden loud bang directly woke Ying Luo. Ying Luo got up and walked outside. What greeted his eyes was a giant ship, 4 or 5 times larger than the one he was currently on. This is. Gurahaha. Kid, is this your ship? How dare you crash into mine? Whitebeard in his youth. Gurahaha. Kid, do you know me? But even if you do, it doesn't matter, you crashed into my ship. Ying Luo really wanted to curse. How did I encounter such a figure as soon as I went out to sea, and it's Whitebeard in his prime? Sorry, I didn't mean to crash into your ship. It's just that I can't sail, so the ship drifted with the current and hit yours. But since it happened, I'll accept it. Although it was Whitebeard, Ying Luo quickly calmed down. Whitebeard looked at Ying Luo, who had quickly calmed down from his shock, and burst into hearty laughter. Gurahaha, interesting kid. If you can take one of my slashes, I can let this matter go, how about it? Ying Luo thought carefully for a moment. The current Whitebeard has at least the strength to fight 1.5 admirals, but, if I die, I die. I'll just go all out. Okay, I'll take it. Ying Luo took out Zhu Xie Longke from his system inventory. Whitebeard was stunned for a moment when he saw the sword in Ying Luo's hand, then laughed heartily again. Gurahaha. Interesting. Get ready, kid. Don't die. Whitebeard swung his Murakumogiri and leapt from his ship, slashing towards Ying Luo. Ying Luo drew Zhu Xie Longkei, directly covering the blade with armament hockey, and met Whitebeard's slash. There were no fancy moves, just a simple slash. Gurahaha. How interesting, how interesting. Boom. As their attacks clashed, Ying Luo used all his strength to block Whitebeard's strike. After a 3-minute stalemate, the force of Whitebeard's attack was finally completely dispelled by Ying Luo. Ying Luo also fell straight down, exhausted. Gurahaha. Not bad, kid. Whitebeard caught the falling Ying Luo and placed him on his ship. Huff huff, huff huff. Ying Luo was panting heavily. Kid, are you interested in coming with me? Ying Luo rested for a while and sat up. Whitebeard, what sea circle calendar year is it now? Ying Luo didn't answer Whitebeard's question, but instead asked about the time. Whitebeard was stunned for a moment. Gurahaha. Kid, it's sea circle calendar 1482 now. 1482. That means Whitebeard hasn't formed his own family yet, and it's the era of rocks. There are still 2 years until the God Valley incident. Ying Luo quickly cleared his thoughts. Whitebeard, I don't want to go with you now, but I'll come find you in a year. Gurahaha. Kid, if you're capable, come find me at Beehive Island in a year. Gurahaha. Kids, set sail. After Whitebeard finished speaking, he grabbed Ying Luo and threw him onto Ying Luo's own ship. After Whitebeard left, Ying Luo fell into thought. Rocks, God Valley, how interesting, how interesting. Ha ha ha. Roar roar, roar roar. Ying Luo rubbed Kuma's belly. Don't worry, I'm fine. Kuma, get ready, we're setting off too. Roar roar. Ying Luo and Kuma embarked on their journey again after this little interlude. 10 days later, Ying Luo piloted his ship to an island. From the previous week's check-in gift package, Ying Luo had a massive popularity burst that granted him a series of navigation knowledge infusions. Ying Luo was now considered an elite navigator. This should be the first half of the Grand Line. Kuma, guard the ship, I'm going down to catch today's food. Roar roar. Ying Luo leapt from the ship. Plop. Ying Luo, submerged in the deep sea, searched for prey. Suddenly, a huge shadow appeared behind him, darting towards Ying Luo at an extremely fast speed. Here it comes. Ying Luo's observation hockey had already detected the arrival of the giant creature, which opened its fang mouth and bit down on him. Whoosh! Ying Luo encountered some resistance in the water, but with his powerful strength, he could easily dodge the small fry in front of him. Bang! After a dull thud, the giant creature turned belly up in the sea. Boom! A towering column of water exploded on the surface of the sea. A figure was seen carrying a monstrous fish, dozens of meters long, ashore. Ying Luo took out Zhu Xie Longkei and split the monstrous fish in half, otherwise the ship might not have been able to fit it. He threw the 2 halves of the fish onto the ship, and the head and tail directly into the sea. The scent of blood immediately attracted a large group of monstrous fish, which devoured the head and tail. Ying Luo divided the 2 halves of the fish into countless small pieces, storing some and keeping some for dinner. He had been eating system-rewarded burgers and the like for a long time and was tired of them. He took out green onion, ginger, and cooking wine from the system inventory to marinate the fish pieces, then took out a grill. Sizzle. The moment the fish was placed on it, the dripping fat made the fire below burn even more fiercely. The concentrated aroma in the kitchen directly lured Kuma over. Roar roar, roar roar. Ying Luo glanced at him. You're not active in doing things, but you're always there for food. Go wash your paws, dinner's ready. In the evening, 1 person and 1 bear, rubbing their big bellies, lay on the deck, looking at the stars in the sky, with a pile of iron skewers discarded beside them. The next day, Ying Luo got up from the deck. System, check in. Did the sun rise from the west today? System, what do you mean? Also, you can talk, can't you? Why were you so indifferent to me before? Ding. Auto check-in for host successful. Congratulations on obtaining 1 caddy of refined salt. Automatically stored in host's warehouse, please check yourself. Bah. System, it's getting worse every time. The system fell silent again, unaffected by Ying Luo's complaints. Ying Luo was tired of scolding and didn't want to argue with this machine anymore. Roar roar, roar roar, island. Ying Luo heard Kuma's roar and looked ahead, and indeed, there was an island. This will be our first stop. Our vegetables and fruits are almost gone, so let's resupply here. Ying Luo steered the pirate ship closer to the island. As soon as Ying Luo and his crew approached, the observers on the island saw the pirate flag flying high. The Killing God pirates are here. The Killing God pirates are here. Dong, 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 dong. Upon hearing the alarm, the villagers on the island immediately scattered, and the streets instantly became deserted. When Ying Luo and Kuma landed on the island, they found that there was no one on the streets. No one. A deserted island. But then he looked at the neat houses and the dazzling array of goods in front of him. This is. The residents hiding in their houses didn't dare to breathe loudly. In one house, a couple was sobbing softly. Daughter, boo-hoo. The chaos in the village caused them to be separated from the crowd. Ying Luo looked at the silent, deserted street. Suddenly, a little girl appeared in Ying Luo's line of sight. The little girl was thinly dressed, with bare feet, about 3 or 4 years old, holding an apple in her arms. When the little girl saw Ying Luo, the apple she was holding dropped and rolled right to Ying Luo's feet. Ying Luo picked up the apple and walked towards the little girl. Mine, the little girl said to Ying Luo in a childish voice. Crunch. Ying Luo took a bite out of it. It's mine now. Ying Luo looked at her with a smile. The little girl pouted, looking like she was about to cry. Wah, wah. Those inside the houses felt indignant when they saw this scene. Pirates, bullying even little children. In their hearts, they had already cut Ying Luo into 1,000 pieces. Ha 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 ha, kid, I was just kidding, here you go. The next moment, Ying Luo conjured a row of BD milk from his hand. He inserted a straw and handed it to her. Drink up, it's very tasty. He liked to drink it when he was little. Ying Luo even pointed to the large white bear behind him. Locke grinned. The little girl stopped crying and smiled, taking the BD milk and holding it in her arms, drinking it in big gulps. Everyone in the room was stunned at this sight. What's going on? Everyone, come out. Ying Luo stood in place and called out. His observation hockey had already detected people hiding in the house. Immediately, rustling sounds came from the surrounding rooms, mixed with the clanging of metal. Seeing everyone standing opposite him, armed with wooden sticks, kitchen knives, and other weapons, Ying Luo smiled faintly. Don't worry, I'm not a pirate, at least not yet. An old man leaning on a crutch stepped out from the crowd, and a couple, seeing the little girl beside Ying Luo, immediately rushed out and carried her away. You're really not a pirate. Not yet, at least. Then why do you have the Killing God Pirates ship? Killing God Pirates? Oh, you mean that Spring Man. He's already at the bottom of the sea. This ship is my trophy. Ying Luo hadn't expected such a coincidence. A pirate crew he'd casually annihilated actually had some connection to this village. Dia dead. Upon hearing that the captain of the Killing God Pirates was dead, the people around looked at each other, and then everyone cheered loudly. That's great. It took a while for the villagers to calm down. Young man, are you a marine? Ying Luo shook his head. I'm not a marine, and I don't want to be a marine. I still prefer being a pirate. A pirate. The old village head was instantly startled when he heard Ying Luo wanted to be a pirate. Ha, don't worry, I won't rob you. The old village head nodded, half believing, half doubting. Then why did you come to our village? My companion and I sailed here, and we ran out of supplies on the ship, so we came to resupply. Do you have vegetables and fruits? I'll pay you, and you give me vegetables and fruits. The old village head was quite surprised. In this day and age, you can still encounter a pirate who actively pays for vegetables. Strange, too strange. The surrounding villagers also found it strange. This was mainly because Ying Luo wasn't from here. Influenced by the red cultural ideology of his home country, Blue Star, actions like robbing and killing ordinary civilians didn't align with his principles. Of course, if S3 were activated, he would pretend he never said that. Is there any problem? And no, how could he have any problem? Usually, it was a blessing if they only robbed and didn't kill. How could they dare to ask for money? Who would have thought they'd not only encounter someone who didn't kill but also paid? By the way, sir, how much do you need? I'll go have someone bring it. As much as you have, leave enough for yourselves to eat, and I'll take the rest. When the old village head heard he wanted it all, he quickly told all the villagers to go home and bring their goods. Ying Luo sat in place. The couple also prepared to go home to move fruits and vegetables, but the little girl ran directly to Ying Luo. Big brother, here's a guo guo for you. The little girl's parents watched this scene in horror, fearing their daughter would be harmed. Ying Luo smiled helplessly. I took an apple from her to eat. This little girl really thinks I like apples. Normally, when he was on Blue Star, his family lacked all fruits except apples. Even if they lacked fruit, apples would just sit there, untouched. Taking her apple was just his way of teasing her. However, he still accepted the apple. Will you play with Big Brother here? Okay. The little girl's parents became even more nervous. The little girl blinked her big eyes, remembered her previous mama, and still nodded her small head. Ying Luo looked at the worried couple and said, "Don't worry, I won't bully her. You two go back and bring your things." The village head also came out to persuade them, "Go back and bring them. I'll watch her here." Although they knew that if this person wanted to kill, it would be effortless, this was still a form of comfort. The couple left distractedly, looking back at the little girl with reluctance before they went. The little girl and Ying Luo were having a great time playing, completely oblivious that her mama and papa had left. Girls are still better. Ying Luo sighed with emotion. Soon, a large group of people placed their goods in front of Ying Luo. Ying Luo took out stacks of brand new berries from his warehouse. Line up, one by one. One collected, one gone. It was quickly finished. They collected about 1 to 2,000 caddies of vegetables and fruits, with each family having roughly 10 to 20 caddies. It had to be said, it was quite barren. Ying Luo was not stingy, each family received roughly 1,000 berries. If these vegetables and fruits were sold in the market, their total value would probably only be around 400 or 500, at most not exceeding 600 berries. The purchasing power of one berry at this time was similar to 20 or 30 berries in the Great Pirate era. The last family was the couple's, and Ying Luo gave them 2,000 berries. Then, after giving the little girl some snacks and drinks, all the villagers dispersed. Ying Luo waved his hand, and the vegetables and fruits were still before his eyes. Ying Luo's face darkened, and he silently cursed in his mind. "System, what are you doing? Please give the host the correct command. Store, store, store. Store them all in the system warehouse. Is that good enough?" With a whoosh, the vegetables and fruits in front of him all disappeared. Already stored in the host's warehouse. "Please check it yourself." You roar, roar. "No, it's not enough. Let's go check other places." Ying Luo continued deeper into the island with Locke. "Sir, there are monsters in those deep mountains." The village head, seeing Ying Luo wanted to enter the mountains, quickly warned him. "Monsters, perfect, I'll go meet it." Ying Luo finished speaking, and he and Locke vanished in a blink. The old village head sighed. Ying Luo and Locke soon reached the depths of the mountain. Dense, lush forests, deep, dark caves. Is this the monster the old village head mentioned? Ying Luo and Locke stood inside the cave, where a large masira lay, bleeding from its 7 orifices. Roar, roar, all right, I know you're impressive. After entering the cave, within 3 minutes, Locke struck and killed the masira. Although it was large and powerful, Locke had mastered armament hockey, and dealing with such small animals was a quick task. After crossing a mountain range, the man and the bear arrived on the other side of the range. Looking down from the top of the mountain, there was a small town along the coastline, its prosperity far exceeding that of the small village they had just left. "Quick, Locke, let's go there." Ying Luo's figure disappeared in a flash, with Locke following closely behind. In 10 minutes, the man and the bear arrived at the town entrance. This time, the situation from last time did not occur again. Perhaps it was because they landed on the island from another side. Ying Luo and Locke walked around the town, where there were many vegetables and fruits, and they also made an unexpected discovery. "I didn't expect there to be a bounty for the killing god pirates here, I should have kept his head. But this bounty is too low, only a mere 3 million berries, not even as valuable as my own devil fruit." Ying Luo just complained and then put the matter out of his mind. He took Locke and bought a ton of vegetables and fruits, which cost about 250,000 berries. Some hooligans and scoundrels in the town, seeing Ying Luo's generous spending, set their sights on Ying Luo and Locke, following them wherever they went. Ying Luo sneered, seeking death. Ying Luo led Locke into a small alley and stopped, waiting for them to enter. "Locke, block the rear." Locke descended from the wall. Both sides were walls, with his hands and feet bracing against them. Roar, roar. Several small hooligans, far from being afraid at this sight, even threatened Ying Luo. Kid, we big brothers are short on cash lately, lend us some money to spend. The leader of the hooligans pulled out a dagger from his pregnant and held it against Ying Luo's neck. Ying Luo's lips curved upward. You were the ones who made the first move. Before the small hooligans could react, their heads had already relocated. Ah, ah, the mixture of yellow and white substances made Ying Luo instantly lose control of his body. Last time, he directly threw the person into the sea, so Ying Luo didn't have such a reaction, but this time it directly exceeded his judgment of his physiological and psychological limits. Ah, cough cough. Ying Luo quickly took out a bottle of water and rinsed his mouth. Ying Luo clutched his head, feeling dizzy now. Hee, it seems I still overestimated myself, although my strength is strong enough. I am, after all, essentially a blue star person who has never seen an execution ground. Roar, roar. Locke looked at Ying Luo worriedly. Ying Luo stroked his fur. Don't worry, Locke, I'm fine, take me away from here, Locke. Locke placed Ying Luo on his back. Ying Luo gripped Locke's fur tightly, and Locke, with his front paws on the ground, quickly left the area, leaving behind only bloodstains and a few wide-eyed heads. 10 minutes later, Locke carried Ying Luo back into the mountains. After resting for a while, Ying Luo finally recovered. Let's go, Locke, we're leaving here. Half an hour later, Ying Luo bid farewell to the little girl and left the island. On the other side, the villagers in the town also discovered the bodies, but no one cared about them. Human lives are relatively cheap in this world, especially those of hooligans who do nothing but evil in town. On the Killing God pirate's ship, Ying Luo gazed into the distance, with a hint of confusion in his eyes. He lay on the deck like that for an entire day. Locke stood guard by his side, fighting hard against his sleepiness. The next day, early morning. Ding. Auto check-in for host complete. Congratulations to host for obtaining Dao De Jing. Automatically stored in host's warehouse. Please check on your own. Ying Luo suddenly sat up. Dao De Jing. Dao. Ha 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 ha. I am me, doing as I please. You trying to rob me is the cause, me killing you is the effect. After a night of despondency, Ying Luo had regained his spirits. However, you dog system, while I admit this, Dao De Jing, of yours came very timely, can you give me something more practical next time? Speechless. You're quite up to date, aren't you? Afterward, no matter what Ying Luo said, the system ignored him. About 2 or 3 weeks later, Ying Luo performed his second monthly check-in since going to sea. Ding. Auto check-in for host complete. Congratulations to host for obtaining the Lunyu. Automatically stored in host's warehouse, please check on your own. The Lunyu. System, did you make a mistake? Isn't it the Analects? All actions, words, and deeds of the system are truth, please do not question. Ding. Auto check-in for host complete. Congratulations to host for receiving 1 Sword Demon, Dugu 9 Swords Mastery Infusion. P.S. Dugu 9 Swords is a unique sword art, what's written below is only at the swordsman level. If you worship Sword Demon, please don't criticize, the humble author is forced to do this. Thank you. Also, I worship him too. Do you wish to use it? There's a change. System, wasn't this item put into the warehouse this time? Yes, the system simply replied with 2 words. Okay, then infuse it directly. Quote. Infusion complete. Please check on your own, host. System, open the attribute panel. Host, Ying Luo, soul-bound user. Age, 10 years old. Dao power, 19,500 inches. Haoshoku, seed. Armament hockey, intermediate late stage. Observation hockey, intermediate late stage. Overall strength, Marine Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral, late stage swordsman, Marine Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral, reference, Flower Sword, Vista. Skills, listening to the voice of all things, active skill, Dugu 9 Swords general formula, breaking swords, breaking sabers, breaking spears, breaking whips, breaking ropes, breaking palms, breaking arrows, breaking chi. P.S. These will only be written this once, not again later. Warehouse. Zhu Xie Long K, Senzu Bean, weakened version X10 Dragon Ball World item. Weakened version can heal wounds, can perfectly heal medium level injuries, no satiety function, ironclad warship, War Wolf X1 handcrafted by Grey Wolf, Fish Fruit, Ancient Zone, Emperor Crocodile Form, a set of kitchenware, Golden Lotus X1, a box of missing teeth, Turtle Hermit School Training Manual, AK-47, 1 million berries, too many items. Unimportant ones like food won't be written later, just remember that the protagonist's ship will not lack water and food. As expected of the Sword Demon, even without the support of things like the 3 types of hockey, he still possesses strength in this world capable of rivaling a Marine Headquarters elite Vice Admiral. If the Sword Demon were also given methods to cultivate armament hockey and observation hockey, Hawkeye would definitely have no chance at the position of the world's strongest swordsman. Ying Luo had read Jin Yong's wuxia novels before, and among them, his most admired were Sword Demon Dugu 9 Swords and Zhang Sanfang. Locke, you watch the house, I'm going into the sea. Ying Luo said, and without waiting for Locke's reply, he went into the sea on his own. He still held Zhu Xielong Ke in his hand. Ying Luo felt full of power now, searching for prey to test his skills in the seabed. Found it. Ying Luo discovered a giant creature nearly the size of a small sea king's about 50 meters away from him. Ying Luo quickly swam in front of it. The big fish looked at the provoking Ying Luo, opened its large mouth, and was about to swallow him. Ying Luo's right hand rested on the dragon sparrow, and in the next instant, a slash was emitted from the dragon sparrow's blade. General formula. This slash was infinitely variable, containing a total of 360 variations from beginning to end. The moment the slash touched the giant creature, it turned into a blood mist and dispersed into the sea. Ying Luo left the seabed and returned to the surface of the sea, seeing a layer of red staining the water. Amazing. If I were to integrate the other 8 forms and achieve the 9 swords as one, I wonder how strong it would be. Ying Luo returned to the ship from the bottom of the sea. The opponent for this test run was a bit weak. When I encounter that old Whitebeard again in the future, I must spar with him once more and see if my Dugu 9 swords is more formidable, or if his Murakumogiri is more formidable. Ying Luo's eyes were filled with intense fighting spirit, and it was a long while before the battle intent in his heart subsided. Rocks, let's go. Ying Luo returned to the cockpit and waved his hand, and Rocks hoisted the sails outside. This ship had no power system and could only be driven by wind. Fortunately, there was wind now, otherwise, the ship would only be able to move with the flow of the seawater. The ship sailed into the distance with the wind. Ying Luo looked at the compass on the ship and proceeded in the direction indicated. Without power, the ship could only change direction by manually pulling the sails. 10 days later, another island appeared before Ying Luo and Rock's eyes. From a great distance, Ying Luo saw the giant Urukiman mangroves and floating bubbles on the island. Is this the Sabayati archipelago? So, after this, it's the new world. After coating the ship and passing through Fishman Island, 20,000 meters beneath the sea, it would be the new world. Ying Luo moored the ship in the harbor. Do you need a coating? An old man asked Ying Luo, his tone neither warm nor cold. No, I don't, Ying Luo replied. He indeed didn't need it, because he no longer planned to keep this ship. It was a stolen ship to begin with, so there was no need to keep it, and relying on this ship, it might even be scrapped before reaching Fishman Island. The old man nodded and said nothing more. Ying Luo took Rocks into the center of the island and found a large number of pirates. It was not yet the Great Pirate Era. This era belonged to Rocks, and some pirates were suppressed to the point of not daring to go to sea. Yet, even in such an era where pirates could not flourish, there were still so many pirates on Sabayati. One can imagine how many pirates there would be here in another 1 or 2 decades, after Rock's demise and Roger's surrender, stimulated by the great treasure. Ying Luo used his observation hockey to sense the strongest among these pirates. He planned to follow this guy and take his ship to the new world. It's about time some things made their appearance. Just as Ying Luo was muttering to himself, he suddenly heard someone nearby mention an auction. Hurry, hurry, the auction is about to begin. Let's go, let's go. I heard the main treasure at this auction is a specialty from Fishman Island. An auction, interesting. Doflamingo should still be a newly formed tadpole at this time, so the auction house shouldn't be run by him. It seems there was a powerful contender before him. P.S. Doflamingo is set to be born in Sea Circle calendar 1483. To be able to protect an auction house from being robbed by a large group of pirates is enough to show that this person is very strong. Rocks, let's go take a look. Roar, roar. Ying Luo took rocks and followed the crowd towards the auction house. Inside the auction house, though not bustling with noise, it was not far from it. Among them, Ying Luo noticed someone sitting in the front row wearing a glass dome over their head. I didn't expect a small auction like this to attract a celestial dragon. It seems this auction is not simple. The auctioneer dared not neglect the celestial dragon. The auction, which was supposed to start in half an hour, actually began early. Distinguished guests, welcome to our Sabayati auction house. Without further ado, let's present our first item, a luminous pearl. Only some rich young masters and ladies were interested in such an item, none of the pirates bid on it. Then came the second, the third. Ying Luo shook his head in disappointment. Only 2 items left, and the celestial dragon still hasn't made a move. The auctioneer suddenly smiled mysteriously and had someone bring out a tray wrapped in red cloth. From the shape, it could be determined to be rectangular and very long, about 2 meters in length. Ying Luo pondered for a moment and roughly knew what was inside. It seems the second to last item should be a sword. I just don't know if it's from the Great Grade Swords series or the Supreme Grade Swords series. Ying Luo didn't consider it to be a skillful grade sword. If it were, it wouldn't be auctioned with such fanfare. Soon, the auctioneer removed the red cloth. A rectangular long box was revealed inside, and the auctioneer opened the box again. It was indeed a sword, just as Ying Luo had guessed. But Ying Luo was also stunned the moment he saw the sword. Yuru. That's right, the box contained none other than Hawkeye's exclusive sword, the supreme grade sword, Yuru, which Hawkeye had blackened over a long period. But Ying Luo couldn't believe it would appear here. Ying Luo looked at the celestial dragon again, who remained indifferent. Seeing the celestial dragon in the front row remain unmoved, others, especially some swordsmen, felt their ambitions stir. When they saw this sword, they felt a surge of excitement. Although they didn't know the sword's origin, their intuition told them that this sword was very powerful. The auctioneer didn't keep everyone in suspense and directly revealed the sword's origin. Distinguished guests, this sword comes from the hands of a top swordsmith in Wano country. Its name is Yuru. It is one of the 12 supreme grade swords. Hearing the auctioneer say this, the crowd below became even more frenzied, especially some swordsmen, who suppressed their urge to rush up and snatch it, their eyes glowing green. The 12 supreme grade swords, this was not just talk, it was a symbol of strength among swordsmen, and naturally, everyone wanted one. Stop talking nonsense. Start the auction quickly. If you keep talking nonsense, do you believe I won't kill you? Seeing the agitated crowd below, the auctioneer finally announced the starting price. Yuru, one of the 12 supreme grade swords. Starting bid, 100 million berries. Each bid must not be less than 100,000 berries. Upon hearing the bid, the scene erupted in an uproar, and those who had been clamoring earlier fell silent. 100 million berries, even if they gambled their entire fortune, they might only be able to buy the hilt. However, there were still many wealthy people present, and many wealthy swordsmen. It was estimated that these people had come prepared after receiving accurate information. 110 million berries. The bidder was a scar-faced man in a kimono, with 2 swords at his waist. 130 million berries. This time, it was a man in a suit, also with a sword at his waist, but only one. 140 million. 150 million. The two began to bid against each other. When the price reached 155 million, the man in the suit gave up and left the auction house directly. 155 million. Is there anyone else who will continue to bid? Is there anyone else? If not, Yuru will belong to this gentleman. 3, 2. 180 million. Just as the auctioneer was about to finalize the deal, a man wearing a black top hat adorned with greenish-white fur and a black and red trench coat made a bid. The kimono-clad man looked over, then his lips curved into a smile, and he turned and left. The bidder was sitting behind Ying Luo. When Ying Luo looked back, he found the man's attire very familiar. Hawkeye. No. That's not right. Hawkeye shouldn't have been born yet at this time, right? When I watched Roger's execution, Hawkeye was only about 17 or 18 years old. Calculating it, Hawkeye should have been born in C-Circle calendar 1481. Plus some online speculation that the baby from God Valley was red hair. Hawkeye and red hair are about the same age, so he might really have been born in C-Circle calendar 1481. P.S. Red Hair Shanks and Buggy are both set to be born in 1483 in this book, which is the year before the God Valley War. Hawkeye is set to be born in Sea Circle calendar 1481. But, who is this man? The moment Ying Luo's observation haki swept over, the man discovered Ying Luo. Ying Luo withdrew his observation haki. Ying Luo had a guess and originally wanted to look at his eyes, but the man kept his head down, so Ying Luo used his observation haki. Unfortunately, his observation haki was also discovered. It seems it's safer to check with the system. System, check his attributes. Ying Luo silently recited in his mind. Immediately, an attribute panel appeared before him. Name, Joracle Shemite. Age, 30 years old. Haoshoku, none. Dao power, 40,000. Armament haki, advanced mid-stage. Observation haki, advanced mid-stage. Overall strength, great swordsman Marineford Admiral mid-stage. Seeing the name Joracle, Ying Luo instantly understood. It seems this is Hawkeye's father. No wonder Hawkeye carried the Yuru at around 17 years old, it turns out it's a family heirloom. P.S. In Pirate King, it doesn't seem to mention where Yuru came from. Of course, it's also possible that I forgot or haven't seen it. However, I didn't expect Hawkeye to be so powerful, and even his father is so strong. No wonder he could discover me so quickly. Suddenly, Ying Luo thought of another question. No. Something seems wrong. It's true that Hawkeye looked 17 or 18 at the time, but Red Hair and Buggy didn't look 17 or 18 at all, at most 13 or 14, right? If Red Hair was only 13 or 14 at that time, then the babies taken from God Valley were not Red Hair and Buggy. What exactly is going on? Ying Luo felt his thoughts getting more and more tangled. Forget it, I don't care, I'll go to God Valley myself then, and I'll know. Just as Ying Luo was thinking, the host on stage brought down the hammer. Yuru was bought by Joracle Shemite for the sky-high price of 180 million. Joracle Shemite left the auction house after taking Yuru. Distinguished guests, next, we will begin the auction for the final item. I can assure you, this item is absolutely worth every penny. As a square object covered with a red cloth was pushed out again, Ying Luo's observation haki swept over it. A fishman, a human body with a fish tail, just like the fishman princess I saw in Pirate King. No wonder they said it was a specialty of Fishman Island, that's what it meant. The moment the red cloth was lifted, everyone's eyes widened. Especially that celestial dragon. Compared to before, he was utterly insane now. He directly stood up and sat on a slave next to him, with several expressionless people in white suits standing by. The celestial dragon's massive body pressed the slave beneath him even lower. Hurry up, crawl for me. The whip in his hand lashed down on the slave's head again and again. Those people should be the world government's intelligence organization CP, right? The celestial dragon looked at the fishman in the cage and immediately started touching her all over. 10 billion, I'll take her. The celestial dragon held up his sign and shouted to the host. He didn't even look down at the audience. The host didn't hesitate at all and immediately brought down the hammer. This item was originally prepared for this celestial dragon, and 10 billion was not something anyone below could afford. The host respectfully handed over the key. The celestial dragon immediately went forward to open the cage holding the fishman. The moment the cage was opened, the fishman's eyes turned sharp, and she lunged violently towards the celestial dragon. The CP next to him reacted quickly. Soru, Shigen. In an instant, the CP appeared in front of the fishman and killed her instantly. Regardless of the reason, the celestial dragon, seeing his plaything killed, immediately pulled out his golden gun. You dog slave, die for me, bang, bang, bang. He fired 3 shots consecutively at that CP. Fortunately, none of them hit vital spots. The CP endured the pain and knelt before the celestial dragon. Thank you, celestial dragon Boogaland, for sparing my life. The celestial dragon looked at his golden pistol, then at the CP kneeling on the ground, with an expression that seemed to say, why aren't you dead? However, he did not fire a 4th shot in the end. The host knelt to the side, scared to death, fearing he would be implicated. Most of the people in the audience had also run away after witnessing this scene, only a few remained, and Ying Luo was one of them. The celestial dragon, seeing his plaything gone, decided to leave. As he turned around, he saw a large white bear. A big white bear, Ha ha ha, a mount, a new mount. You guys go and catch that big white bear for me. I want to change mounts. After speaking, he directly pulled out his golden pistol and fired a bang at the slave beneath him. The slave had a smile on his face before he died. Ying Luo's expression slightly changed. The drama has reached me. Kuma, you go first. We'll meet on the ship we talked about. Roar, roar, don't worry, I'll be fine. You go first. Ying Luo patted Kuma's belly. Kuma hesitated for a moment, then left. Ying Luo knew that with Kuma's current strength, fighting these CPs might be a bit difficult. He might win, but he might also be held back. If they were held back until an admiral arrived, they might not be able to escape. The celestial dragon, seeing Kuma trying to escape, immediately shouted at the CP next to him, useless. Go and catch that beast for me. Ying Luo's eyes narrowed slightly. In a blink of an eye, his figure disappeared. Several CPs quickly surrounded the celestial dragon. In an instant, Ying Luo's figure appeared to the right of the celestial dragon, armament hockey infused, and he punched the rightmost CP in the stomach. That person was completely unable to react and was knocked unconscious by Ying Luo's punch. So weak, they shouldn't be CP0. The remaining CPs, seeing this, directly charged towards Ying Luo. Number 9. Notify the Marines stationed at Shambles. While attacking Ying Luo, someone was relaying information. Seeing the CPs surrounding him, Ying Luo temporarily had no time to deal with the person relaying information. It seems I need to deal with you quickly. Ying Luo manifested Zhu Xielong K in his hand. Sword-breaking style. With the dragon sparrow in his hand, sword energy burst forth, and a sharp slash quickly attacked the CPs. The slash was too fast, and they hastily raised their hands to block. Tekai, 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 boom. After a dull thud, the building behind the CP agent collapsed. A moment later, the smoke and dust cleared, and several CP agents lay on the ground, eyes rolling back, with only two standing, a celestial dragon and a CP agent codenamed 9. Ying Luo looked at the celestial dragon, his figure swiftly arriving beside the two. I am a celestial dragon, the ruler of the world. You fool dare to defy my will. Die. Bang bang bang. The celestial dragon, holding a golden pistol, continuously fired 3 shots at Ying Luo. Ying Luo's arm was coated with armament hockey, and with a series of cling, cling, cling sounds, he directly deflected the 3 bullets. Smash. Thump. Ying Luo smirked, punching the celestial dragon in the face with such speed that the nearby CP agent couldn't react in time. This is my first time doing this to someone, you don't need to thank me too much. The celestial dragon's glass dome shattered directly, and his face visibly caved in. The nearby CP agent's face turned to horror at the sight, but he still attacked without hesitation. Ying Luo countered with a backhand punch, directly piercing through his abdomen. Failing to protect a celestial dragon means you'll die sooner or later anyway, so I might as well give you a quick death. The CP agent looked incredulous, unsure whether it was disbelief at Ying Luo's strength or at his words. This time, Ying Luo's expression was only slightly unpleasant, and he didn't experience the strong physiological reaction he had before. Ying Luo turned his head and found that the celestial dragon was still breathing. As expected, just as hard to kill as Roswell. You got lucky this time. Ying Luo swiftly fled. If he didn't leave now, an admiral would arrive soon. Some onlookers who witnessed this scene were utterly terrified, and one by one, they quickly left the area. Run, an admiral is coming. People are going to die. Ying Luo didn't know if the current admiral had a devil fruit ability as fast as the glint glint fruit, so he didn't dare to take the risk. Among the 3 admirals he knew of in this era, only Sengoku was present. Ying Luo quickly headed towards the ship they had secretly arranged earlier. At the seaside, Ying Luo already saw the ship. He quickly boarded it and set off for Fishman Island. Marineford, Marineford. Kong stood in the fleet admiral's position, respectfully facing the Den Den Mushi. Kong, why was a celestial dragon attacked in shambles? You owe me an explanation. Yes, I understand, Saturn Saint. HMPH. Beep. As soon as the Den Den Mushi hung up, Kong sat in his office chair with a gloomy expression. The news not only quickly reached the Marine but also Mary Geoy's. Notify the Marine high-ranking officials to come to the conference room for a meeting. Kong said to the messenger outside the door. 10 minutes later, in the Marine conference room. Fleet Admiral Kong, Sengoku called out, and everyone else looked at Kong. Garp was an exception, looking sloppy, with his finger stuck in his nostril. Kong glanced at the admirals and Suru present, ignoring Garp. Just now, the Gorosei and Shambles reported that a celestial dragon was attacked. Huan Yuan, among the admirals, only you can fly. You should go. Kong looked at the scar-faced man with silver hair wearing a coat of justice. The scar-faced man nodded, transforming into a chimera-like monster and flying away from Marineford. Everyone in the conference room learned about the celestial dragon being attacked, and their expressions turned serious. They cared little about the celestial dragon's life or death. What concerned them was that the authority of the Marine and the world government had been challenged. Garp still looked sloppy, even trying hard to suppress the corners of his mouth from rising. PFF'd. Kong looked at the source of the sound. Garp. Garp immediately became serious upon hearing Kong's voice, but after a moment, another sound escaped him. Kong's forehead showed faint veins, but now was not the time to dwell on such matters. He directly ignored Garp. Although there are fewer small pirates on the seas now, some famous great pirates are becoming more and more rampant. The most important issue is the Rocks pirates. If we let them continue to develop, they will surely cause immense panic in the world. Fleet Admiral Kong, the people we sent to monitor the Rocks pirates just sent back news a few days ago that the Rocks pirates seem to have been much quieter recently, staying on Beehive Island. Sengoku frowned slightly. Kong, Suru, and another admiral had a bad premonition upon hearing that the Rocks pirates had been quiet for some time. Keep a close eye on the Rocks pirates during this period. I fear they are brewing some huge conspiracy. I understand, Fleet Admiral. Sengoku nodded. Suru then raised a question. Fleet Admiral Kong, what about Roger? Are we giving up? Kong then thought for a moment, then turned his gaze to Garp, and everyone else also looked at Garp. Garp was still suppressing his laughter, completely oblivious to their strange gazes. It wasn't until his PFFT sounds were the only ones left in the conference room that he reacted. He looked up and met the gazes of Kong, Suru, Sengoku, Vice Admiral Tyrannosaurus, and others. What's going on? Is it over? Then I'm leaving. Garp saw that their gazes towards him were off and turned to leave. Before he could take a step, Suru grabbed his collar and pulled him back. Cough cough. Suru, let me go. Garp. Kong roared, and Garp finally quieted down. Garp, Roger is in your hands. You've been chasing Roger for a long time, and you've fought him over 100 times. You continue to monitor Roger. Garp was about to refuse when Kong directly said, this is an order. Garp pouted, mimicking in a sarcastic tone, oh, this is an order. After speaking, he disappeared with a Soru. Veins bulged on Kong's forehead, but thinking that the Roger matter was resolved, his mood improved slightly. Alright, today's meeting is adjourned. Report immediately if the Rocks pirates make any moves. Yes, yes, yes. Sabayati Archipelago. About an hour later, Admiral Wanyuan had arrived at the Sabayati Archipelago. The time might be a bit long, there's artistic license involved, can be ignored. Huan Yuan looked at the devastated auction house. The Marine stationed in the Sabayati Archipelago in the distance also saw the Admiral's arrival and immediately went to greet him. Reporting, Admiral, 1st Marine S5 Branch Colonel Gores. You are the highest-ranking officer of the branch. Reporting, Admiral, Vice Admiral Goldo is at the base reporting the situation here to the higher-ups and asked me to wait here for the Admiral's arrival. Admiral Wanyuan nodded. Have you found anything? Admiral, when we arrived, the culprit had already left. We only found Celestial Dragon Boogaland and several members of CP5, with 1 dead and 5 injured. Celestial Dragon Boogaland and the others have already been taken back to Mary Geoy's. Huan Yuan walked up to the corpse, looking at the hole in its abdomen. Killed with 1 blow, his strength should not be weak. By the way, did the surveillance Den Mushi capture anything? It's currently under investigation. As soon as possible. Chapter 11. Admiral Wanyuan then took out a Den Mushi and contacted Fleet Admiral Kong. Fleet Admiral Kong, the culprit has already left, and we haven't found any eyewitnesses yet. The surveillance Den Mushi footage is still being retrieved. No eyewitnesses. HMPH. I'm afraid they all ran away. This matter must be dealt with quickly, find the culprit as soon as possible. I understand, Fleet Admiral Kong. Beep. As soon as the Den Mushi hung up, Gores walked over from the side. Admiral, we found it. Gores handed over the visual Den Mushi he held, projecting the image onto the ground. A captured segment showed Yingluo and Kuma. Huan Yuan took a few photos of the man and the bear with the visual Den Mushi. Alright, clean up the battlefield. After giving his instructions, Huan Yuan left Sabayati Archipelago directly. 3 days later, Yingluo's wanted poster was distributed everywhere. Kuma, having not acted and escaped, was deemed unthreatening and therefore had no bounty. Criminal, dead or alive. Bounty, 500 million. The wanted poster had Yingluo's picture, but no name, only the label of a criminal. Originally, the Marine intended to offer a bounty of 300 million, but the world government raised it to 500 million just because he hit a celestial dragon. Yingluo was still on Fish-Man Island at this time, he had not yet seen the bounty issued by the Marine. Fish-Man Island. Yingluo held the dragon sparrow against the neck of the captain of the ship he was on. Take me to the New World, and I'll let you go. When Yingluo and Kuma disembarked with these pirates on Fish-Man Island, Kuma was accidentally spotted by them, leading to the current situation. Master, we'll take you. Is it okay if we take you? The pirate captain was on the verge of tears. Who had he offended? He had seen Yingluo hit a celestial dragon at the auction house before. If they took Yingluo and were discovered by the Marine and the world government, they would surely die. But that was after being discovered. If they didn't take him, his head might leave home immediately. Very good, a wise man submits to circumstances. Don't worry, I'll leave once I reach the New World, I won't trouble you. The pirate captain nodded profusely, like pounding garlic. You can leave now. Gather here in 2 hours. If I find out you ran off on your own, and I catch you, I will make your lives worse than death. Yingluo spoke the most ruthless words in an adorable tone. After Yingluo left with Kuma, the group of pirates dared to communicate secretly amongst themselves. Captain, do we really have to take them to the New World? Nonsense. Do you want to die? But, Captain, he hit a celestial dragon. What are you afraid of? As long as the Marine doesn't know he's on our ship, it's fine. Besides, he won't be on our ship forever, he'll leave once we reach the New World. And there are no Marines between Fish-Man Island and the New World, right? Oh okay, I'm telling you, if you want to court death, don't drag me into it. That guy even dared to hit a celestial dragon. The surrounding pirates quickly shook their heads, and seeing this, he finally relaxed. Alright, go have some fun. It's not easy to get to Fish-Man Island, how can we not have a good time? Oh, the pirates scattered, even the captain wasn't worried, so what did they have to worry about? On the other side, Yingluo took Kuma for a stroll and arrived at Fishman Street. Yingluo looked at the chaotic scene of Fishman Street and felt quite desolate. Fishman Street, this can also be considered a division of classes, right? If even these people cannot be accepted or dealt with, why should they crave acceptance from others? Yingluo couldn't understand. Most of Fishman Street consisted of homeless orphans, and even the delinquents became delinquents just to survive. Yingluo didn't believe that there was no class discrimination and division here. If these issues were due to the current king of Fishman Island being unable to handle them, yet Neptune had been in power for over 20 years, and Fishman Street still existed. Forget it, forget it. It's none of my business, I'll just stay out of it. He was too lazy to bother with the troubles of Fishman Island. Mindsets couldn't be changed in a day or two, and besides, he didn't intend to manage these things. Yingluo originally wanted to go to the commercial district of Fishman Island to see the mermaids, but then he thought that he was only 10 years old and wouldn't be able to use them even if he saw them, so he simply gave up. Let's go, Kuma. Yingluo planned to take Kuma back to the ship first and wait to depart for the New World. Marineford. Buru. Moshi Moshi. General Sengoku, what is it? Prus, when can you reach the skies above Fishman Island? Reporting, General Sengoku, it might take another day. Speed up, you must capture the criminals who harmed the celestial dragon before they escape. Yes, General Sengoku. Beep. Marineford analyzed Yingluo's strength and believed he could at most reach the level of an ordinary vice admiral, so they dispatched a Marine headquarters elite vice admiral to intercept Yingluo and Kuma in the skies above Fishman Island in the New World. New World. Yingluo and Kuma had already arrived here on the pirate ship. On a small deserted island in the New World. I originally planned to bring it out after I had the strength of an admiral, but it seems that won't work now. System, materialize the War Wolf. War Wolf materialized successfully. The War Wolf user manual has been implanted into the host's brain. Suddenly, Ying Luo felt a massive influx of knowledge about the War Wolf surging into his mind. 10 minutes later, the impact finally dissipated, and Ying Luo had completely mastered the operation methods of the War Wolf. As expected of a conceptual god, my Uncle Gray, who used a few decks and a screwdriver to hand-build this conceptual ironclad warship, it not only comes with voice recognition, can self-drive, but also has high-tech weapons like radar and lasers. Regarding the War Wolf's energy system, Ying Luo didn't quite understand it, only knowing that the War Wolf could extract certain substances from the sea to serve as energy. This was good, he wouldn't have to worry about the energy for this behemoth in the future. War Wolf Intelligence System. Little Gray Ultra High-End Auxiliary Intelligent Brain System. Radar. Scans and records sea conditions within 100 nautical miles, approximately a circular range with a radius of 185.2 kilometers. Fictional, no need to be overly concerned. Weapon System. Main and secondary cannons, laser cannons, and other weapons. There was also a series of other functions, including daily life necessities, and most importantly, fresh water. The War Wolf was equipped with a freshwater conversion device that could convert seawater into freshwater, thus ensuring no shortage of freshwater at sea. It has all the necessary components. I should have brought it out earlier, I could have enjoyed it 2 or 3 months sooner. Ying Luo suddenly felt a bit regretful. But it's not too late now. Ying Luo looked at the massive War Wolf docked by the sea, his eyes filled with the War Wolf's brilliance. Kuma, let's go. I'll let you experience what you haven't experienced before. Roar, roar. Half an hour later, a man and a bear appeared in the bathroom. The large pool was very warm and had no mist. Little Gray. I'm here, Papa. Ahem, about that, let's change your title to Captain from now on. Okay, Captain. All right, leave this deserted island, search nearby islands, determine the farthest sailing route, and proceed slowly, 1 nautical mile per hour is fine. Understood, Captain. 3 minutes later, the War Wolf began to move slowly. The man and the bear comfortably soaked in the bathroom, with intelligent robots providing various services. For example, scrubbing, providing food and drinks, and so on. After the War Wolf had traveled for about 5 hours, the sky gradually darkened. Ying Luo told the War Wolf to increase its speed slightly, reaching 10 knots. Reporting, Captain, radar shows 3 ships approaching the War Wolf 90 nautical miles away. Ships, pirate ships, show me the appearance of the ships. Okay, Captain, please look at the light screen. A light screen appeared in front of Ying Luo, showing the 3 ships. Seagull, Wrench, Marine. Why are the Marines here, and why are they approaching me? Did they know my whereabouts? It seems the Marine already knows about me hitting the celestial dragons. Ying Luo quickly realized where the problem was. I just don't know which admiral was sent this time. No matter, whichever admiral it is, I need to stall for time. If the Marine and world government send another general-level combatant, it might be hard to leave then. It's better to leave first. Ying Luo made up his mind and immediately ordered the War Wolf to proceed at full speed, deliberately avoiding the Marine warships. The next morning. Ding. Auto check-in successful for host. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 drop of ordinary blood from Chiyu's mount, the iron-eating beast, from the primordial mythology for bear-type creatures only. Only as large as a speck of dust, low-level primordial. Automatically stored in the host's warehouse. Please check it yourself. Hearing, primordial world, Ying Luo suddenly sat up. System, you're so generous. But, you dog system, are you doing this on purpose? And it's only for bear-type creatures. Ying Luo immediately knew this item was for Kuma. He kicked Kuma, who was still drooling. Get up, your opportunity has arrived. Kuma got up, looking at Ying Luo aggrieved. Roar, roar, all right, your opportunity is here. Here. Ying Luo took out the dust-sized drop of blood. Kuma immediately felt a huge sense of danger. Roar, roar, Ying Luo smiled and comforted him, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. This is a drop of blood from your ancestor's ancestor's ancestor. With it, you might even be able to directly advance to Admiral. Kuma understood and nodded. Roar, roar, all right, lie down. Kuma obediently lay on the ground. Ying Luo silently thought. System, Use this drop of blood on Kuma. Usage successful. Roar. Immediately, a huge roar entered Ying Luo's ears. System, what's going on? Improving the white bear's physique. Painful, but no danger. Hearing the system's explanation, Ying Luo finally relaxed. Soon, half an hour. Finally, after Kuma struggled for more than 2 hours, he stood up from the ground. Roar. This roar was deafening. Brother. Ying Luo was stunned, then overjoyed. Kuma, you can actually speak. I taught you for 5 years on the deserted island, and you never learned. I didn't expect you to suddenly comprehend it. Brother, it's credit. Ying Luo understood that Kuma meant it was the blood drop's credit. Good. From now on, when we communicate, you won't have to keep roaring. Kuma nodded. System, check Kuma's current attributes. Name, Kuma, special. Beast age, 5 years old. Dao power, 17,500 inches. Haoshoku, beginner. Armament hockey, intermediate late. Observation hockey, beginner mid. Overall strength, Marine Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral mid. Ying Luo was slightly disappointed after seeing Kuma's overall strength. Perhaps Kuma's previous physique was too poor, consuming too much energy, which is why he only reached the level of an elite vice admiral. Ying Luo thought to himself. Oh, right, system, what does special mean? Kuma's physique has been improved, it's extraordinary. How is it extraordinary? The host will know in the future. TCH, you're trying to be mysterious with me. But never mind, considering how generous you've been this time, I won't argue with you. Ying Luo looked at Kuma in front of him, growing happier the more he looked. Good. Our team has grown stronger. However, we still can't be complacent, we must continue to cultivate, understand? Understood, brother. Brother, not cultivate. Pia, Ying Luo slapped him on the belly. What are you saying, you brat? You only see me when I'm playing, but you don't see me when I'm working hard. You should be ashamed, don't you know? Kuma's eyes showed confusion, but he still nodded. That's more like it. On the other side, Gores had been searching the small island near Fishman Island where Ying Luo had stayed for almost a day. Reporting, Vice Admiral Gores. No discoveries. One of the soldiers came to report. Gores frowned deeply. No discoveries. Did we miss him? Gores walked towards the prison in the ship's cabin. Are you sure it was here? Do you know the consequences of deceiving me? A large group of pirates trembled in fear, huddled in the prison. Marine, sir, we really didn't lie. We separated on this small island. After he brought a white bear and took our ship to the New World, we separated here, and then we met you, Marine, sir. The pirate captain was practically in tears. He encountered a devil before entering the New World, and then encountered the Marine just after entering the New World. He felt that heaven had played 2 huge jokes on him. Gores saw that he didn't look like he was lying, and finally called General Sengoku on the Den Mushi. General Sengoku, the mission failed. Marineford. Sengoku's office. Sengoku, sitting on the sofa, stopped his hand that was about to open the senbei. What's going on? Then, Gores reported the situation he encountered. All right, I understand. You can come back now. Beep. Afterward, Sengoku went to find Kong. Marshal's office. Fleet Admiral Kong, that's how it is. We can't find any trace of the criminal now. What's the next step? Kong pondered for a moment and said, if his trace is gone, then so be it. Focus your efforts on the Rocks pirates instead. Sengoku nodded and left. Not long after he stepped out, he heard cursing and sounds of agreement coming from the marshal's office. Sengoku stopped, his brows furrowed, lost in thought. Suru. It wasn't until Suru's voice appeared that Sengoku snapped back to reality. Suru, what's wrong? The Marine seems to have recruited 3 talented youngsters. Oh, really? Yes, 2 natural-type devil fruit users, and 1 is Garp's son. Then they certainly have great potential. If nurtured well, they could become 3 general-level powerhouses in the future. Sengoku had witnessed Monkey D. Dragon's potential, and it was indeed immense. Suru nodded. Sengoku, something is on your mind. The smile on Sengoku's face faded, and after a moment of tense silence, the atmosphere softened, and Sengoku's smile returned. I'm fine, Suru. Suru nodded. She knew Sengoku didn't want to talk. Before Sengoku turned to leave, Suru said, "Sengoku, don't forget the friendship between you, me, and Garp." Sengoku nodded. Suru stood in place, watching Sengoku's departing figure until he disappeared, after which she also left. On the vast ocean of the New World, a giant steel beast sailed. This was Ying Luo's ship. When passing pirate ships saw Ying Luo's war wolf, their greed intensified wildly. But after experiencing the war wolf's weapon, which could blast their pirate ships into dust with a single shot, their faces were all filled with terror. They ran as far away as they could. Ying Luo stood on the ship, watching this scene. This can't go on. I can't do this every time, can I? Ying Luo thought for a while and then made his decision. I've got it. As long as my reputation spreads far and wide, and I hang my own symbol on the war wolf, I can avoid harassment from small pirates. And there's no better way to gain widespread fame than by hunting celestial dragons. A smile appeared on Ying Luo's lips. However, with my current strength, hunting celestial dragons might be a dead end. The Marine and the world government will definitely try to capture me if they see me. Oh, right, Whitebeard, rocks pirates. It's Sea Circle Calendar 1482 now. In a little over a year, it will be the God Valley incident. That's when my fame will spread far and wide. I estimate my bounty will be sky high then. But, I hit a celestial dragon a few days ago, why haven't I seen my bounty poster yet? Was this matter covered up? Ying Luo didn't know why he hadn't received a bounty poster, so he stopped thinking about it. Forget it, I'll definitely have a bounty poster 2 years from now. Ying Luo didn't realize that his bounty poster had already been freshly printed while he was still on Fishman Island. The reason he hadn't received it yet was that no pirates or civilians had seen him. If they had, they would surely recognize him as a great pirate with a 500 million bounty. The fact that he hadn't received it himself could only be attributed to his bad luck. His bounty poster had already been issued as soon as he reached the New World. I remember the Rocks Pirates base should be on Beehive Island. It seems I still need to find someone to ask for Beehive Island's location. Sigh, I should have asked Whitebeard to leave me some Vivre cards back then. Brother, we can ask for directions. After nearly a day of training, Ru's speech was much smoother. Ru pointed at Ying Luo. Ying Luo smiled at Ru. So smart, but there's another way. He didn't plan to ask for directions but rather to steal a map. Another option was to buy a map, but considering a map shop on a small island might not have a map of Beehive Island, he discarded that idea. The map should have the location of Beehive Island, but small pirates probably don't have a complete map. It seems I can only go find a great pirate and steal their map. However, the war wolf is too conspicuous. I need to quickly find an island and then switch to a ship from the pirate world. Without further ado, Ying Luo immediately had the war wolf head at top speed towards the nearest island he had previously searched for. The next day, the war wolf arrived near the island, but on its backside, where no ships passed and no one would see it. Ding! Auto check-in for host complete. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Tinlong keel made from Treasure Tree Atom user manual by 1 inch with power system. Ying Luo's face darkened when he heard the system's prompt. Use system. Are you doing this on purpose? The system ignored him. However, he then had a thought and was overjoyed. System, you wouldn't happen to give me whatever I think of, would you? Ying Luo's small eyes narrowed slightly, trying to make his smile as lewd as possible, but it still looked adorable. Please, host, do not conjure baseless fantasies. Hehe, still won't admit it, system. Don't blame me for exploiting your bugs later. Ha 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 ha. Then, Ying Luo put away the war wolf, took out Tinlong, and absorbed the user manual into his mind. After that, he steered Tinlong towards the harbor. Upon reaching the island, Ying Luo didn't rush to find pirates but instead stayed on Tinlong by the sea for a night. The next day, Ying Luo excitedly sat up from bed early in the morning. It's coming, it's coming. Ding! Auto check-in for host complete. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 1 soft bone rabbit head. Automatically stored in the host's warehouse. Please check it yourself. Ying Luo instantly froze in place. You dog. Yesterday I was thinking of receiving the power of Pengu. Why did you give me a rabbit head, and it's even raw? Please, host, do not dream unrealistic dreams. After that, no matter how much Ying Luo insulted the system, he received no response. HMPH. If you don't give it, then don't. At least cook it for me. already made into spicy rabbit head for the host. Consider yourself smart. Ying Luo held the spicy rabbit head in his hand, about to take a bite, when Ru burst in. Brother. Ying Luo looked at the spicy rabbit head in his hand, then at Ru, who was practically drooling, and still handed the rabbit head over. He silently chanted in his mind. System, another one, please. Quote, quote. Spicy rabbit head by 2 inches. Before long, Ying Luo and Ru were eating with greasy mouths. Ru, clean up. We're going to land on the island. Roar roar. After Ying Luo and Ru landed on the island, they looked for a tavern. Taverns usually have bounty posters and other information, which can provide clues to high bounty pirates. Ying Luo walked and asked along the way, finally finding the tavern after wandering the streets for over half an hour. At this moment, Ying Luo could hear the noise inside the tavern from its entrance. Ying Luo lifted the door curtain and walked into the tavern with Ru. After the people in the tavern clearly saw Ying Luo and Locke's appearances, the tavern instantly fell silent. Criminal. A criminal with a bounty of 500 million berries. Someone shouted. Then the atmosphere exploded. Some cheered, while others looked solemn. Ying Luo and Locke were full of questions. Excuse me, what do you mean by criminal? Ying Luo's words made the tavern's atmosphere quiet again. One of the braver ones stepped forward to ask. Sir, you are the criminal, don't you know? Your bounty has reached 500 million berries. Me, 500 million berries. Ying Luo pointed to himself. That's right. 2 days ago, sir, your wanted poster was already sent all over the world. A great pirate with 500 million berries. Seeing his adoring look, Ying Luo knew that this matter must be true. 2 days ago, no wonder, it turns out it was already issued when I was in Fishman Island. I was wondering why I hadn't seen my wanted poster. Then Ying Luo looked at him. Let me ask you a question. Sir, you speak. Are there any wanted posters of great pirates here? Or, do you know the whereabouts of any great pirates? Great pirate, aren't you one, sir? Besides me. Sir, there are indeed some wanted posters of great pirates here, but they are all for bounties not exceeding 100 million berries. This tavern is generally a gathering place for bounty hunters. They don't have the strength to deal with great pirates above 100 million berries, so generally there are no wanted posters for great pirates above 100 million berries in the tavern. Sir, is there something you need a great pirate for? I need to snatch the map from them, the one for Beehive Island. Upon hearing this, the faces of the people in the tavern instantly changed greatly. You want to find the Rocks pirates? Ying Luo nodded. Do you have a map? No. And it's not just that I don't have it, even those great pirates might not have it. Ying Luo frowned slightly. Sir, if you really want to go to Beehive Island, you might only be able to get the map by going to that place. Where? Marine G5 branch. That's a marine base stationed in the New World, a base guarded by 3 Marine headquarters elite vice admirals. It's not that easy to snatch things there. Ying Luo's mouth curved slightly upward. Is that so? Thank you. Ying Luo, having obtained useful information, walked out the door with Locke. Wait, Ying Luo stopped. Something wrong. Your bounty, I want it. Ying Luo showed his 2 rows of big white teeth. Ha ha ha, interesting. If you have confidence, come and get it yourself. Looking at the sword at your waist, you should be a swordsman. Since that's the case, I will face you as a swordsman. Zhu Xie Long Ke appeared in Ying Luo's hand. A sword, how did it appear? Come on, little, oh no, big devil. Ying Luo felt it was a bit awkward to call an uncle older than himself, little devil, so he casually called him, big devil. Remember, my name is Genius Conte. Conte took out the sword at his waist and shouted loudly. One sword-style Fuyu dragon ascent. Conte, holding his sword, slashed directly at Ying Luo. Clang! Ying Luo did not draw his sword, but instead caught the attack with his hand. Bang! Then he kicked Conte flying, a wicked smile appearing at the corner of his mouth, and the dragon sparrow slowly unsheathed. Big devil, watch closely, a sword isn't used like that. Frog in a well, let me show you how big the world is. Ying Luo also said something, imitating Hawkeye. Dugu 9 swords, chi breaking style. Swish, a slash cut towards Conte's head. Finally, the slash directly cut into the wall behind Conte, and suddenly a wall behind the tavern collapsed with a crash. Conte's eyes were unfocused, his forehead covered in sweat, as he stared blankly at the two gashes cut into the wall behind him. Ying Luo slowly returned the dragon sparrow to its sheath. Big devil, I admire your courage, it's too early to die now, live well. My name is Ying Luo. Strive to catch up to my footsteps. After speaking, Ying Luo inserted the dragon sparrow into his waist, dropped 100,000 berries, and left the tavern with his back to them. Conti's unfocused eyes gradually focused, as he stared blankly at Ying Luo's departing back. I will become the world's greatest sword master. One day I will defeat you. Ying Luo. Ying Luo ignored him, smiling faintly. More than 10 days later. System, what surprises are there today? Today was the first day of Ying Luo's 4th month at sea, and also the day for the medium gift package, small gift package, and daily check-in rewards to be issued. Ding. Auto check-in for host successful. Congratulations to the host for acquiring armament hockey technique, flowing Sakura. Would the host like to learn it immediately? Learn. Loaded for host. Ding. Auto check-in for host successful. Congratulations to the host for acquiring the quick sword, listening wind sugar. Congratulations to the host for acquiring 100,000 berries. Automatically stored in host's warehouse, please check on your own. These 3 rewards, besides that sword, the other 2 are very useful. System, you're thoughtful. Ever since Ying Luo guessed that the system would give him things according to his inner thoughts, he had been fantasizing about these things non-stop, but after half a month of testing, the system still went its own way, giving whatever it wanted. However, Ying Luo never gave up, and fortunately, the system gave him some good things today. System, open my attribute panel. Host, Ying Luo, soul-bound user. Age, 10 years old. Dao power, 23,999. Haoshoku, seed. Armament hockey, intermediate late stage. Observation hockey, intermediate late stage. Overall strength, general level candidate early stage swordsman Marine Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral. Skills, listening to the voice of all things active skill Dugu 9 swords flowing Sakura beginner. Warehouse, Senzu Bean weakened version X10 Dragon Ball World item, weakened version can heal injuries, can perfectly heal moderate injuries, no satiety function ironclad warship, War Wolf X1 handcrafted by Grey Wolf listening wind sugar, fish fruit, ancient zone, emperor crocodile form, golden lotus, turtle hermit school training manual, AK-47. My current strength is at the level of a general level candidate, plus my identity as a swordsman, I might not be unable to fight against an early stage general level expert. Locke now also has the level of an elite vice admiral, even in the Rocks Pirates, he should have a place. Currently, in the Rocks Pirates, those who can reach general level are probably only a few cadres. Oh, right, system, I forgot to ask you, how do you categorize this strength? Pirate World combat power is determined by Marine combat power standards, from soldier to commander, then rear admiral, commodore, vice admiral, elite vice admiral, general level candidate top vice admiral admiral, emperor level, venerable level, overlord. So that's how it is. It seems I still have a long way to go. Ying Luo and Locke sailed for half a month before finally finding the G5 Marine branch they had heard about in a tavern. As Ying Luo's ship was about to approach the Marine branch base, it was discovered by the soldiers inside the base. Who goes there? Stop your ship immediately, otherwise, our forces will open fire. Quickly, go inform the Vice Admiral. Ying Luo directly ignored their warnings and steered straight towards the port. The 3 Vice Admirals stationed at G5 arrived at this moment and, seeing that Ying Luo had no intention of stopping, immediately ordered his ship to be sunk. Open fire. Boom, boom, dense cannon fire filled the sky above Tianlong. A red glint flashed in Ying Luo's eyes, and the dragon sparrow at his waist was already unsheathed. Swish, swish, bang, 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 countless flying slashes split the cannonballs in half, causing them all to explode in the sky. What a pity, I haven't learned any flying sword techniques, otherwise I wouldn't need to get close to the port, I could just kill my way over directly. Now, Ying Luo could only let the ship slowly approach the port, then disembark. The moment Ying Luo disembarked, the 3 Vice Admirals and almost all the Marines recognized him. You're the criminal, the newcomer with a 500 million bounty. Ying Luo smiled politely. I apologize for disturbing you, but I have a name. I'm not some criminal, my name is Ying Luo. Locke, attack. Ying Luo didn't waste words, directly telling Locke to attack with him. The 3 Marineford vice admirals on the other side also reacted in an instant. Gulairge, you go deal with that white bear Locke. Joank, you and I will hold back this criminal. Be careful, the white bear Locke's strength is unknown, and this criminal should be at the vice admiral level. You don't need to worry about it, Reget. Gulairge clashed with Locke in an instant. On the other side, Ying Luo also engaged the other 2 vice admirals. However, the battlefield was a one-sided affair. Not to mention that Ying Luo possessed the strength of an admiral candidate, even Locke alone could hold off 3 people or even defeat them. Soon, the 3 Marineford vice admirals were defeated. I didn't expect that white bear Locke to be so powerful. Gulairge was already panting, while Locke showed no signs of exertion. Joank and Greget on the side were in the same state. Ying Luo was toying with them as if they were monkeys. The marine soldiers watching nearby gripped their flintlock pistols and swords. Ying Luo seemed to have seen through their intentions. I advise you to stay put obediently. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind killing a few more marines. There was not a trace of emotion in his tone. The marine soldiers hesitated for a moment, but ultimately charged towards Ying Luo. Ying Luo paused, then smiled cruelly. Good, you have your stance, and I have mine. This is your own choice. Blade breaking style. A massive slash cut towards all the marine soldiers who had raised their swords. Quick, dodge, Greget shouted, but it was too late. The slash was already upon them, and the marine soldiers couldn't react at all. In an instant, a large number of marines fell. The bullets from the flintlock pistols had also reached Ying Luo's eyes. Total formula style. The dragon sparrow guarded his front, and slashes surrounded his body. The total formula style, encompassing 360 variations, easily blocked all the bullets in front of him. Arrow breaking style. Universe shift, using strength to counter strength, specifically breaking hidden weapons. In an instant, all the bullets in front of Ying Luo were bounced back. Swish, swish, marines kept falling. If Greget and Joank hadn't blocked some of them, perhaps all the marine soldiers on the scene would have lost their lives. Everyone, retreat to the base immediately and await rescue. Greget understood that sending these miscellaneous soldiers was no different from sending them to their deaths. Support, it seems they must have already notified Marineford when they saw me. It's not advisable to prolong the fight. Locke, finish this quickly. Ying Luo urged Locke, who was still playing around. Got it, big brother. Gulairge's pupils widened. A talking bear. Roar. Locke charged up a pitch-black heavy punch and smashed it towards him. Armament hockey. Gulairge became increasingly shocked. Locke's attack was upon him before Gulairge could cover his hands with armament hockey for defense. But his strength was not as great as Locke's, and his armament hockey was not as strong as Locke's. He was directly smashed into the ground by Locke's punch. Bang. Seeing this, Greget immediately told Joank to go rescue him. Ha, you wouldn't think you could slip past me, would you? Spear breaking style. The way of the sword, the great path is simple. Ying Luo casually unleashed a strike. Greget and Joank, seeing this, dared not be careless in the slightest. They assumed an fight back stance and charged directly into this slash. Boom. The slash and the two clashed, emitting powerful fluctuations. It ended with the defeat of the two. All 3 vice admirals were defeated. The subsequent marine soldiers still wanted to fight to the death, but facing the terrifying strength of Ying Luo and Locke, it was futile. Ying Luo did not kill anyone else after that. After taking a map from the G5 base, he left. 2 hours later, Admiral Candidate Gutelamir and Marine Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral Bet arrived at the G5 branch. Looking at the mess on the ground, they knew the battle was over and they had arrived too late. Buru. Beep. Fleet Admiral Kong, we are too late. The criminal has already escaped. The other side remained silent for a long time before speaking. All right, I understand. Have Bet guard there, and you bring the 3 of them back. Beep. Bet, Fleet Admiral Kong wants you to guard here. Bet solemnly agreed. More than 2 hours later, Marineford. Greget, what happened? In the infirmary, Kong personally came to inquire. Fleet Admiral Kong, the criminal's name is Ying Luo, and his strength is very strong. Most of G5's marines were killed. Greget recalled painfully. Fleet Admiral Kong, and that white bear Locke. He's very strong, and not only can he talk, but he can also use armament hockey, and his armament hockey is even stronger than mine. Goularge said. Kong patted Greggit's shoulder, then left the infirmary. Fleet Admiral's office. The three admirals, Admiral Candidate Gutelamir, and Suru were all present, except for Garp. The criminal's name is Ying Luo, and the white bear is Locke. Currently, it seems that the white bear is not only not a pet, but is very likely a Mink tribe member. Fleet Admiral Kong, Ying Luo was able to easily defeat the combined efforts of Greggit and Joank, which indicates that his strength is far beyond just Vice Admiral level. I suspect Ying Luo's true strength is at least at the Marine Headquarters Elite Vice Admiral level. Sengoku frowned deeply. Kong nodded. Fleet Admiral, Ying Luo should still be a swordsman. I noticed that the injuries on the G5 base and Greggit were mostly caused by slashes. Ying Luo is very likely a master swordsman. Gutelamir interjected. Whether it's his talent or the sins he has committed, it's enough for us to take him seriously. At just over 10 years old, he possesses such strength. His talent might even rival monsters like Charlotte Linlin and Kaido. Since this guy is also a swordsman, Wake, you go and pursue Ying Luo. Gutelamir assented, and just as he was preparing to head to the New World, a message arrived from the G5 branch. Reporting, Fleet Admiral, Vice Admiral Bet has sent word that all valuables at the G5 branch are normal, except for battle damage at the port. Only one map was stolen. Wake, who had already stepped halfway out of the Fleet Admiral's office, pulled his foot back. What exactly does this Ying Luo want to do? He didn't rob any valuables, but only stole a map. If he wanted a map, why didn't he go to the map shop in town to buy one? Vice Admiral Tyrannosaurus questioned. Sengoku pondered for a moment and then had a guess. Fleet Admiral, could it be that the place Ying Luo is looking for isn't on the maps in the town's navigation shops? Kong found that reasonable. That makes sense. Go find a few maps from the shops in town, and also get a copy of the G5 base map. We'll compare them and know where he's going. Soon, several maps were laid out on the table. After more than half an hour of careful comparison, 3 differences were found on the maps. Fleet Admiral Kong, the only differences are Kiro Port, Christmas, and Beehive Island. Loki Port has been changed to Kiro Port, as I recently saw an updated One Piece and realized Loki Port seems to be Beehive Island's port. Wake announced the results. Christmas Island only has a few small villages, so it can basically be ruled out. Then there's Kiro Port and Rocks, Stronghold, Beehive Island. Fleet Admiral Kong, what do you think? Sengoku asked Kong, who was deep in thought. Kiro Port is occupied by the underground gangs, and Beehive Island is Rocks' territory. Both places could be where Ying Luo wants to go, but I feel he's more likely to go to Beehive Island. If my hunch is correct, he might be going to join the Rocks pirates. If he goes to Kiro Port, it's fine, as the threat there isn't great for us. But I'm worried he'll join the Rocks pirates. Wake, set off now. If you find him, try to intercept him before he reaches Beehive Island. With that kid's terrifying talent, if he joins the Rocks pirates, he will definitely cause huge trouble for the world government in the future. Fleet Admiral, I'll set off for the New World to apprehend Ying Luo right away. After Wake left, Kong had Ying Luo's bounty poster remade and also issued White Bear Locke's bounty poster. Afterwards, he inquired about some news concerning the Rocks pirates before dismissing the meeting. Sengoku's brows were furrowed with worry. What's wrong, Sengoku? Suru, how many geniuses do you think the world government, or rather, the celestial dragons, have caused us Marines to miss out on for their sake? Is it really worth it? Suru's expression became serious. Sengoku, even so, with your current abilities, you're not enough to change anything. Let's talk about future matters in the future. By the way, the Marine recently received another promising talent, a Logia-type little guy. Sengoku's face finally broke into a smile again. Ha 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 ha, there's still hope. New World. Ying Luo and Locke were sailing the Tinlong, heading towards Beehive Island. Locke, keep going. At this moment, Ying Luo and Locke were training on the deck. At 10 years old, he already had a sturdy physique. Ying Luo was sweating profusely, and Locke's fur was also soaked. Huff huff, huff huff, huff huff, huff, huff. Both the man and the bear were panting heavily, their armament hockey on their fists undiminished, and their fists collided again and again. Although training this way didn't increase strength as quickly as direct rewards from the system, the sea was so boring, and being idle was still being idle. It was better to improve one's strength more. That way, When they arrived at the Rocks Pirates, they would have more say and be able to ensure they weren't bullied. The sparring between the man and the bear continued until evening. Huff huff huff. Locke was breathing rapidly. Ying Luo calmed his breathing, slowly making it even. Half an hour later, Ying Luo came out of the kitchen, wrapped in a bath towel. He was carrying a large plate of meat. Eat, you've been tired all day. Locke was also ravenous. He took the meat and directly tore into it, this time not even saying thank you. Ying Luo chuckled, watching Locke eat, then also picked up a piece of meat and stuffed it into his mouth. After eating, both of them lay directly on the deck and fell asleep. The next morning, ding, auto check-in successful. Congratulations, host, you have received a basic gravity chamber 24-hour experience card X1 from the Dragon Ball world. The maximum gravity is 100 times that of the One Piece world. Please use with caution. Automatically stored in host's warehouse. Please check it yourself. Ying Luo suddenly jumped up from the deck. I'm rich. I'm rich. Host, please note the time limit. The system's words were like a bucket of cold water poured over Ying Luo's head. You dog system, you give it but don't give a permanent one. You give me a time-limited one, and then you remind me. Seriously, can't you just let me be happy for a bit? Ying Luo continued his usual rant at the system, which was already immune to such words. Afterward, Ying Luo slapped Locke's belly. Pia, Pia. Locke, wake up, we have limited time. After Locke woke up, he looked at Ying Luo confusedly. He didn't explain much, just silently thought. System, materialize the gravity chamber onto the deck. Materialization successful. Instantly, a circular domed building appeared on the deck. Locke was already used to such situations, he often saw things appear out of nowhere. Locke, come in with me. Locke didn't hesitate and followed Ying Luo directly into the gravity chamber. The gravity chamber's layout was simple, with only an adjustment device in the center and nothing else. It seems to be the simplest gravity chamber, but it's enough. Ying Luo stared at the gravity chamber for a while, then collected his thoughts. After all, he only had 24 hours, no time to waste. Locke, get ready, I'm going to increase the gravity. Locke's expression was tense, ready for anything. 2. Ying Luo tapped the gravity adjustment, and instantly the pressure inside the entire gravity chamber doubled. However, it wasn't enough to make them gasp for breath or unable to move. The man and the bear quickly adapted to double gravity. Immediately after, Ying Luo adjusted it up 2 more times. 4. The moment the number reached 4, Ying Luo suddenly felt his body sink, as if carrying thousands of pounds of weight. Locke was also struggling to support himself. The man and the bear struggled to adapt in the gravity chamber. 15 minutes, half an hour. Finally, after enduring an hour, Ying Luo and Locke had adapted to 4 times the gravity. Next is 5x. As soon as Ying Luo pressed 5, the gravity in the gravity chamber instantly pressed him to the ground, and Kuma was the same. Ying Luo struggled on the ground for half an hour, still unable to stand up, and only managed to stand up after an hour. Huff, huff, how is this so terrifying? Ying Luo felt that 5x gravity and 4x gravity were like heaven and earth. He had thought he could adapt to 4x gravity and barely move under 5x gravity, but he didn't expect to be instantly pressed firmly to the ground. After 18 hours, the gravity Ying Luo and Kuma had adapted to had reached 8x. The man and the bear already felt at ease fighting under 8x gravity. Kuma, are you ready? Ready, big brother. 9. As Ying Luo pressed the number 9, this time Ying Luo and Kuma learned from their previous experience, only pressing the next number after familiarizing themselves with each level of gravity. However, 9x gravity was still extraordinary, making it difficult for them to move an inch. Finally, Ying Luo felt that a long time had passed before he fully adapted to 9x gravity. Just as Ying Luo was about to press the number 10, the gravity chamber disappeared. Ying Luo and Kuma suddenly lost control of their bodies, leaping over 10 meters high, and then felt dizziness directly hitting their brains. After landing, they rested for a while before regaining control of their bodies. Big brother, I feel like I've become so strong. But it's a pity, it was only 24 hours. System, check Kuma's attributes. Name, Kuma, special. Beast age, 5 years old. Dao power, 23,000. Haoshoku, beginner. Armament hockey, intermediate late stage. Observation hockey, Beginner, late stage. Overall strength. Admiral candidate, early stage. Armament hockey hasn't changed, or the change might be minimal. Observation hockey has improved, though. It seems this gravity adaptation has added all the strength to the body's basic attributes. System, open my attribute panel. Host, Ying Luo, soul-bound user. Age, 10 years old. Dao power, 28,800. Haoshoku, seed. Armament hockey, intermediate, late stage. Observation hockey, intermediate, late stage. Overall strength, Admiral candidate, late stage, elite swordsman, Admiral candidate. Skills, listening to the voice of all things, active skill, Dugu 9 swords flowing Sakura, beginner. Warehouse, if I could stay in there for 10 days to half a month, I'd probably be able to directly reach the late stage of Admiral. Host might die if he stays for 10 days to half a month. Nonsense, how could I die with this physique? At most, I'd just be a little weak. Kuma, let's go, big brother will take you to eat meat. The man and the bear had been in the gravity chamber for a day and hadn't eaten anything yet, so they were starving by now. The man and the bear were feasting in the kitchen, shoving meat chunks, fruits, and vegetables into their mouths without stopping. By the time both of them were completely full, the food consumed by the two combined had exceeded 100 catties. Yahey, so satisfying. Huff, so full, big brother. At this moment, Kuma's belly was stretched into a ball. It was another early morning. The system checked in as usual. This time, the reward was nothing special, an everyday overcoat, perfect for wearing in cold, high mountain regions, but the area they were currently in was a hot place. The system was also subjected to Ying Luo's complaints as usual. At noon, a shadow suddenly appeared above Ying Luo and Kuma's heads. Ying Luo looked up, then immediately lowered his head. A flock of newspaper birds was flying above, and Ying Luo was afraid that something would suddenly fall down. After a while, the newspaper birds dropped a pile of wanted posters and then flew away. What is this? Ying Luo jumped into the air, grabbed a wanted poster, and landed. Wanted poster. And it's mine. Haven't they already issued one? Ying Luo looked closely again and found that the criminal on the wanted poster had changed to Ying Lore. Kuma also followed suit, but he held two wanted posters in his hand, one for Ying Luo and one for himself. Big brother, look, I have a bounty too. Is that so? Congratulations, Kuma. Not bad, a bounty of 300 million for your first wanted poster. Hehe, lock, dead or alive, bounty, 300 million. Kuma's name and bounty were printed on the wanted poster. Afterward, Kuma excitedly hung both his wanted poster and Ying Luo's wanted poster in the room. Beehive Island. Ever since Whitebeard saw Ying Luo's wanted poster after he hit a celestial dragon, he was incredibly shocked. Now, Whitebeard was holding the newly released wanted poster. Gurahaha, Ying Luo, you little brat. You're truly unfathomable. Whitebeard completely disregarded the person on the throne beside him. He just laughed heartily at Ying Luo's wanted poster. Gia ha 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 ha. Whitebeard, old man, what are you laughing at a wanted poster for? Golden Lion Shiki looked at the wanted poster in Whitebeard's hand. Gura gura gura. Shiki, this little brat is not simple. Whitebeard showed the wanted poster to everyone. Shiki looked at the person and bounty on the wanted poster, also with an expression of disbelief. Gia ha 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 ha. Is the world government and marine senile, or is this little brat too amazing? At such a young age, his bounty has reached 500 million. Rocks on the throne also became interested. Gia ha 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 ha. What an interesting little brat. Kaido, it seems this guy will be stronger than you in the future. Kaido's expression didn't change. He continued to swing the spiked club in his hand. Wang Ji and Silver Axe, on the other hand, scoffed dismissively. Kuro lo 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 lo. A little brat, how strong can he be? HMPH. If I meet him, I'll chop him into pieces with one axe. Whitebeard's expression turned cold. Silver Axe, you'd best watch what you say. What? Whitebeard, old man, do you want to fight? The atmosphere between Whitebeard and Silver Axe grew increasingly tense. Gia ha 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 ha. Suddenly, a strong aura from rocks pressed down on everyone present. Gia ha 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 ha. You can fight, but not in front of me. Whitebeard looked at rocks. His strength has improved a lot again. Silver Axe immediately shut his mouth. At this moment, Wang Ji interjected. Captain, I received intelligence that a batch of celestial gold will be transported to Mary Geoise soon. Should we intercept it? It's said there are also a few celestial dragons on board. Jia ha 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 ha. Good. I'll leave this matter for you to prepare. Just remember to inform everyone when the time comes. At sea, Ying Luo and Kuma were getting closer to Beehive Island. Soon, 5 days passed. Outside Beehive Island, a ship appeared. This was Ying Luo's Tinlong. The moment Tinlong appeared, all the cadres on Beehive Island immediately noticed its arrival. Jia ha 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 ha. I didn't expect guests to arrive at our Beehive Island. Gura gura gura. Shiki, let's go take a look together. Jia ha 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 ha. Kai, are you going? Mama, old man Shiki, you'd better retract your petty thoughts. Linlin, that's too heartless. As they chatted and laughed, the few of them were already walking towards the sea. Rox also rose from his throne. Jia ha 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 ha. It seems there's more than one guest. Wangji, Silver Axe, John, let's all go take a look. Kuro Lolo. Is Captain also interested in such a small matter? Outside Beehive Island, Ying Luo was already preparing to enter the port of Beehive Island. Silver hair, Dai. Ying Luo turned his head and saw a dashing man holding a long saber and wearing a coat of justice. What the heck? How did the Marine catch up? The one who came after him was the Marine Admiral candidate, Hua Kei, Gutelamir. Hua Kei kicked off the Marine warship, rapidly attacking towards Tinlong. Ying Luo didn't have time to control Tinlong, so he took out his dragon sparrow and met the charging Hua Kei. Magpie feather slash. Good. Dugu 9 swords, blade breaking style. Ding. Boom. The two slashes collided, creating a powerful tremor, and the slashes vanished in an instant. On Tinlong, the two stood on opposite sides, each holding a saber, gazing at each other. This guy isn't simple. System, check his attributes. Name, Gutelamir. Age, 33 years old. Dao power, 29,000. Haoshoku, none. Armament hockey, intermediate late stage. Observation hockey, intermediate late stage. Overall strength, Admiral candidate late stage. He's also a late stage Admiral candidate like me, but his Dao power is slightly higher than mine. Ying Luo stared intently at the other party. Ha 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 ha. Although you might be stronger than me, my will is as I please. If you want to take me back to Impel Down, you'll have to be prepared to die. Dugu 9 swords, chi breaking style. Ying Luo covered his saber with armament hockey and moved in close. Hua Kei also covered his saber with dark armament hockey, meeting Ying Luo's attack. On the other side, at Beehive Island port. Jia ha 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 ha. The guts of these young brats and the Marine are quite big now. They're actually fighting all the way to our Rox Pirates headquarters. Gura gura gura. Ying Luo brat, I didn't expect you to actually come to Beehive Island. Ying Luo focused on clashing sabers with Hua Kei, completely ignoring Whitebeard's words. All the qualified cadres of the Rox Pirates appeared at the port, even Rox himself came. Kuro Lolo. Newgate, is this the brat you mentioned? He doesn't look particularly strong. Wangji had a sinister smile on his face. The next moment, Rox laughed. Jia ha 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 ha. Wangji, your eyesight is still as bad. This brat isn't weak, I sense that there's still a potential within him that hasn't awakened. Wangji was stunned for a moment, but quickly recovered. Captain, only those who survive are geniuses. If this brat is accidentally captured by the Marine, then he'll be a genius who died young. Jia ha 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 ha. You're right, Shiki, create a fighting area for them. Rox looked at Shiki. Jia ha 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 ha. Understood, Captain. Golden Lion Shiki placed his palm on the ground, and instantly, a battle platform rose from the ground. Jia ha 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 ha. You two brats, if you don't mind, go out there and fight to your heart's content. At this time, Hua Kei and Ying Luo had separated. After hearing Golden Lion's words, they exchanged glances again and then both leapt onto the platform. Although Hua Kei was wary of the Rox Pirates, their current location was still not within Beehive Island itself, so the mission still had to be carried out. Rox and the other great pirates also disdained to make a move against a junior Marine. Gura gura gura. Ying Luo brat, do you want this old man to drive away this Marine brat for you? Ying Luo looked at Whitebeard, a smile appearing on his face. This is my business, Whitebeard. I believe in my own strength. Besides, Captain Rox also wants to see my strength, right? Ying Luo looked at the confident man with a large cloak and messy hair. Gia ha 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 ha. You're indeed as interesting as Whitebeard said. Brat, if you can defeat this marine brat, how about I let you join the Rocks Pirates? It's a deal. Then Ying Luo's gaze returned to Hua Kei. Silver-haired Ying Luo, if you want to join the Rocks Pirates, it depends on whether you have the fate for it. Magpie rise, wind facing one saber slash. A chilling slash locked onto Ying Luo, aiming directly for his head. That's ridiculous. Wind facing one saber slash. Do you think you're Master Turtle? Watch me. Dugu 9 swords, sword breaking style. The strength of both sides seemed endless, their slashes constantly colliding, so much so that the stray slashes would occasionally fly towards the marine and the pirates of Beehive Island. Some marines and pirates who couldn't dodge in time died on the spot. Hua Kei wanted to save them, but facing Ying Luo's slashes made it impossible for him to be distracted. As for the lives of those small-time pirates, no one cared about them. Hua Kei timely pulled back, meeting Ying Luo's slash as he charged towards Ying Luo. Ying Luo saw his intention and directly confronted Hua Kei. Ding, ding, clang, clang. The crisp sounds of constantly colliding blades reached everyone's ears. The two had been in a standoff for nearly 2 hours, and both had consumed a lot of stamina. Seeing that he couldn't take down the opponent for a long time, Hua Kei could only grit his teeth and say, "One last strike. If you can take it, I'll leave." If he ran out of stamina, and the Rocks Pirates' cadres surrounded him, he would have no chance to resist at all. Ying Luo's lips curved upward. Just as I wished. Good. Ultimate skill. Magpie dance. Startled magpie breaking through the sky. The enormous slash released by Hua Kei went straight for Ying Luo, the magpie tied within the slash seemingly wanting to drown Ying Luo. BGM starts. One life, one person, one demon, one sword, one wine, one pavilion. Break sword, break blade, break spear, break whip. Roaming the pugilistic world for 30 years, defeating all heroes, unrivaled. Break rope, break palm, break arrow, break chi. Receive my strongest saber strike. Feel the sword Tao of your ancestors. General formula, 9 swords combined. Rumble. Rumble. Above the sky, dark clouds immediately gathered, lightning flashed and thunder roared, and torrential rain instantly poured down. Bang! Magpie dance met the general formula of 9 swords combined, and in an instant, it collapsed and scattered. The slash released by Ying Luo lost none of its momentum, crushing towards Hua Kei like a soaring divine dragon. Boom! 5 minutes later, Ying Luo knelt on one knee, the large battle platform created by Golden Lion was cut in half, and Admiral candidate Hua Kei plunged into the sea. The Marines on the warship and the accompanying Vice Admiral immediately went to rescue Hua Kei who had fallen. Quick, go save Vice Admiral Hua Kei. Admiral candidates still hold the rank of Vice Admiral. Rocks, on his side, didn't bother with the Marine. Gia ha 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 ha, little brat, are you very strong? Not bad, not bad. From now on, you'll be a probationary crew member of the Rocks Pirates. Ying Luo nodded. Golden Lion Shiki looked at Ying Luo. Gia ha 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 ha, little brat, your strength is pretty good. Do you want to join my squad? I'll make you a vice squad captain. Gurahaha, Shiki, give up on that idea. There's no way the brat Ying Luo will join your squad. If he joins anyone, it'll be my squad. You couldn't even get Kaido, and now you're trying to snatch Ying Luo too. Mama, little brat Ying Luo, I'm really looking forward to your growth. Wang Ji and Silver Axe, however, harbored hostility towards Ying Luo. John didn't speak. Kaido, meanwhile, stood solemnly beside Charlotte Linlin, carrying his spiked club. Apologies, squad captains, but I don't wish to join any squad at the moment. Mama, Shiki, it seems your plan is going to fail. Gurahaha, I knew you, little brat Ying Luo, wouldn't join a squad. Gia ha 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 ha, interesting. In that case, forget it. However, if you ever want to join, you're always welcome, little brat. Hearing Ying Luo's refusal, Golden Lion didn't get angry. Ying Luo nodded at Golden Lion, then looked at Rocks. Captain Rocks, I wonder if I could ask for a lesson in your Haoshoku. Boom! Everyone around, including the elite crew members and Wang Ji, the squad captains, instantly had their expressions changed drastically. Is this brat crazy? He's a newcomer, so a bit of arrogance is normal. But to dare challenge the captain, this brat is probably at the end of his life. Only Rocks, Whitebeard, and Shiki's expressions remained unchanged. Ying Luo and Rox stared at each other for a while. Suddenly, Rox burst into laughter. Gia ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, interesting, interesting. It's been a long time since I've met such an interesting brat like you. Since you want to try, then let me show you. Boom. Rox, aura instantly became terrifyingly powerful, with countless black and red lightning bolts surrounding him. The terrifying aura even directly crushed the bodies of some pirates nearby. Instantly, Rox's terrifying aura rushed towards Ying Luo. Ying Luo immediately felt the terrifying impact pressing down on him, as if he was carrying a huge mountain, trying to crush him. Ying Luo bit the tip of his tongue, making himself more alert. Ah! Ying Luo struggled against Rox's terrifying aura, moving forward step by step. Finally, when he reached halfway, a familiar mechanical sound came from Ying Luo's mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host for stimulating the Haoshoku seed under intense pressure, awakening God Demon Overlord Haki. Unlike ordinary Haoshoku, after awakening, you can learn Conqueror's Haki encasement. The host needs to learn independently. Wishing the host an early mastery of Conqueror's Haki encasement. Host: Ying Luo, soul-bound user. Age: 10 years old. Dao power: 33,999 inches. Haoshoku: God Demon Overlord Haki, early awakening, suppresses gods and slays demons, invincible and unstoppable. Armament Haki: intermediate, late stage. Observation Haki: intermediate, late stage. Overall strength: Admiral, early stage, elite swordsman, admiral candidate. Skills: listening to the voice of all things, active skill, Dugu 9 swords, flowing Sakura, beginner. Inventory: Ying Luo felt an unusual aura within his body. He then endured Rox's suppression and drew that power out of his body. Boom! A powerful surge of dominance suddenly appeared, forcefully pushing back Rox's Haoshoku. Rox was stunned for a moment when he saw this, then burst into laughter. Gia ha 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 ha, Gia ha 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 ha, little brat, let me see how strong your will is. Boom! Immediately after, the Haoshoku released by Rox was even more powerful than before. The surrounding squad captains, including Whitebeard and Shiki this time, were all shocked by this. Haoshoku. This brat actually possesses Haoshoku too. And he can confront Captain Rox with just a newly awakened Haoshoku. Wang Ji felt a hint of fear in his heart. Gurahaha, my judgment was indeed correct. You truly live up to your name, Ying Luo. Whitebeard was genuinely happy for Ying Luo. Mama, Ying Luo, I'm looking forward to your growth more and more. Gia ha 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 ha, Ying Luo, I, Shiki, will definitely trick you into becoming my vice squad captain. Half an hour later, Ying Luo eventually ran out of stamina and couldn't withstand Rox's Haoshoku, falling unconscious. Gia ha 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 ha, it seems our Rox pirates have taken in a good brat. Newgate, take Ying Luo and return to the island. 2 days passed in a flash, and on the third day, Ying Luo woke up in bed. Ding! Auto check-in for the host complete. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Devil Fruit Zone type, Bird Fruit, Mythical Zone, Chongming Bird form. Automatically stored in the host's inventory. Please check it yourself. Ding! Auto check-in for the host complete. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a limited edition doll. Automatically stored in the host's inventory. Please check it yourself. Cough cough. System, please deal with that second item for me. How should I deal with it? Whatever you want. Throw it in the sea or burn it, just don't keep it in the inventory. I'm only 10 years old. 10 years old. Automatically destroyed for the host. Ying Luo felt that if this item were discovered, it would be social death. Thankfully, this was the world of pirates. If it were on Blue Star, it would be fine if outsiders saw it, but if his family saw it, the best solution he could think of would be to bravely die. Last week's weekly gift pack was another devil fruit, and a mythical zone at that. System, has your drop rate been modified by Hulu Sha Sanlu? Please explore on your own, host. System, if I had known your drop rate would be so high after I went to sea, I wouldn't have foolishly waited with Locke on that deserted island for 5 years. Quote. After cursing for a while, Ying Luo realized that Locke wasn't by his side. System, do you know where Locke went? The system does not provide a person-finding function. TCH, useless system. Quote. Just as Ying Luo was about to leave the room, he suddenly sensed 2 strong auras emanating from outside. Locke, and another one, Who is it? Ying Luo quickly headed in the direction from which the two auras came. In the jungle, a bear covered in blood and a man wielding a giant axe were confronting each other. The bear covered in blood was indeed Locke. His white fur had been stained red by blood, and even his eyes had turned blood red. The man opposite, holding a giant axe, was Silver Axe. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe for more videos.